Salute, salute. Let's get the people up in the building. Yeah. Let's get y'all up in the building. Saturday morning, Valentine's Day. How many of you brothers out there got a ladies that you're gonna celebrate? You're gonna celebrate Valentine's with? Some of y'all, man, I don't celebrate no Valentine's Day, man. Forget all that. All right. All right. Cool. For sure. Go Gadget, man. Shout out to Go Gadget, man. That's what we gonna do right here. Hit the like button, man. Tap on in, man. We ready for the show. We ready for the show, man. I told y'all I was gonna come back in the morning and do some more content. Now, I would have got up earlier, man, but King had to get his rest. I wanted to get here two hours earlier, but I definitely had to get my rest. Reckless said I'm definitely gonna celebrate with my girl. LOL. See, a lot of cats who don't have women, they gonna say, "Oh man, I ain't finna celebrate that, man. No, man, I ain't finna do all that, man." See, most of the cats who say that ain't got a woman, or yeah, that's really what it is. Or let's just say you might be dating or dealing with different women, but you don't feel that they're worthy of you taking them out to spend money on. I get it. For sure, I get it. Let's get the people up in here, man. Salute. Let's get it. America Unleashed. True Warrior Scholar. Yeah, man. Make sure you get them likes up, man. Let's get the algorithm moving. Let's get this thing going. He said, if I didn't have a girl, I'll take my daughter out for dinner. Man, salute. Shout out to the Reckless Podcast 816. Most definitely, we in the mix. Hit the like button. It ain't going to cost you a dime. It ain't nothing. Now, let's get it, man. I don't want to waste no time. I want to dive into the conversation. Now, we all know Nicki Minaj was doing a lot of caping for Maga and all these different things. Why did she do it? Hey, man, it's common sense. Nikki looking for citizenship. See, I didn't know that Nikki wasn't a citizen. See, I already knew Nikki was a Caribbean, but I didn't know that she wasn't a citizen. Come to find out, Nikki wasn't even born in the United States. She was born in, what is it, Trinidad, wherever she's from. Come to find out, that's what it is. Salute. Hey man, we gonna stay on top of this. Afro Merchant, man, what's popping? Let's get it popping. You already know what to do.
Appear as though this is going to get underway right now.
Nikki thought she was gonna get citizenship from Donald Trump. Come to find out, she played herself. Yeah. She played herself. Congratulations, you played yourself. Yeah.
Hi. Hello, how are you? So those of you who know, Charlie was very good about having a surprise.
Man, Charlie Kirk, man, told a lot of lies. But anyway, let's move on with the content. We ain't gonna make this about Mr. Charlie. Barbara's son be like, "Oh, Mr. Charlie." Shout out to Barbara's son out there in New Orleans. Hey, Baba gonna tell you about old Mr. Charlie. He was saying that before we even knew who Charlie Kirk was. Old Mr. Charlie, also known as the Watchman.
Prize for every AmFest. And we are so blessed to have you We are so grateful. I mean,
Thank you. I'm honored to be here. I am honored to be here. Thank you for having me.
love you guys. So we're just gonna dive right into this. You had some fun words for Governor Newsom. I have to read these tweets because they're amazing and they are so funny. Okay, first one, we'll do this one.
Look at old Nikki sitting up there caping for Mr. Charlie. Caping for good old Mr. Charlie. Thought she was going to get citizenship. Hell no.
Unless you want to read it in your own voice. I think it'd be really great. Okay.
Oh, Gavy Poo, it only gets worse from here for you, buddy. It's the end of the road for you, my love. Get on the nearest jet ski and let that beautiful hair blow in the...
We already know that Nikki was a Biden supporter. Nikki is a Democrat. We understand that. Clearly, she's a grifter.
The wind. It'll make you happier than this race that you will not win. Enjoy life. Peace.
Okay. One more.
Why not? Imagine being the guy running on wanting to see trans kids. Haha, not even a trans adult would run on that. Normal adults wake up and think they want to see healthy, safe, happy kids. Not Gav, the Gav nots. Gav not in, Gav out. Send in the next guy, I'm bored.
So I'm just gonna let you riff. Like, I want you to say whatever you want to say to Mr. Newsom.
Dear Newscum, we don't have a problem cleaning up the scum if we have to. Please tread lightly. That's what I would say to Gavy Poo.
So with regard to the current administration, what has been maybe the biggest surprise for you, or something that you just...
Let's see what she say.
...really has been put on your heart that you've learned about our president and our vice president?
Well, I have the utmost respect and admiration for our president. He has, I don't know if he even knows this, but he's given so many people hope that...
She's being fake, man. She's not being real. You voted for Joe Biden. Know what she should have asked him? You know what Erica Kirk should have asked Nicki Minaj? Did you vote for Kamala Harris and Joe Biden? Did you vote for Donald Trump, or did you vote for Kamala Harris and Joe Biden? That's the question I would have asked Nikki. We know damn well that Nikki voted for Kamala Harris and Sleepy Joe Biden. She ain't vote for Donald J. Trump. Nikki is being fake. Nikki is a grifter. Nicki Minaj was team Kamala all day. She was team Kamala.
There's a chance to beat the bad guys and to win and to do it with your head held high and your integrity intact. He's from Queens, New York, like me.
Nah. You didn't vote for him, though. You didn't vote for Donald J. Trump. You voted for Kamala Harris. You voted for Sleepy Joe Biden. Erica Kirk, stop cheesing in her face and ask Nikki the real question. Did you vote for Donald J. Trump, or did you vote for Kamala Harris and Sleepy Joe? I would have got right there. I would have got straight to business. Let us know who you voted for. Well, nah, homie, I ain't finna sit up there and play these games.
So, but what it's shown me personally is sometimes, you know, even in the worst feeling times in your life, you think that you're never going to come back from it. But you do. And our president shows that. He's been through every single thing a person could be through publicly. Having to constantly be lied on.
Shout out to the Afro Merchant. He said Nikki saw Wayne get pardoned for a gun case and was like, I need to pander for citizenship. Nikki said, hell yeah, I'm gonna sit up there and pander for citizenship. Knowing damn well she voted for Sleepy Joe, knowing damn well she voted for Skamala Harris.
It's not really that funny until you are in that person's shoes that's being lied on. You'll never understand what it feels like. That person is a human being. They have a family who has to read those lies. And that's not, and it's just not fair. But this administration is full of people with heart and soul. And they
don't believe that, man. She's pandering. These people are full of heart and soul. You was against it because they are deporting people. You voted for Skamala Harris, Nikki. Let's cut the crap.
Make me proud of them. Our vice president, he makes me, well, I love both of them, but they're both powerful men, smart, strong, all of that, but both of them have a very uncanny ability to be someone that you relate to.
Now, what she should have said was, I was raised in Queens, but she was not born in Queens. She was born in Trinidad. She could have said, hey, man, I was raised in Queens, but of course she's going to say that's where she's from because she was raised there, but technically she's from Trinidad.
I can relate to them. When I hear them speak, I know that they're one of us. Like, I know that they're not, don't you guys agree? They haven't lost touch of the world. You know, they're still connected to the world and what's happening in the world, with the younger people and older people, with the richer people and not so rich people. They have the ability to still connect and be real and make us feel proud to be American.
So why now have you been involved with speaking about politics? What was kind of the turning point for you? Yeah.
I have something inside of me that's stronger than what's out there. That's right. So when you've had enough, you realize, wait a minute, why do I even care about these people and what they think? Who are they? They don't even know who they are. So I'm not going to back down anymore. I'm not going to back down ever again.
Amen. Can the students in the room raise your hand? Wow. This question is for you guys. So you guys are very courageous and bold on your campus. Nikki, I know our students feel this way, but why do you think speaking your mind has become so controversial?
Because people know.
Courageous and bold on your campus.
Because people no longer are using their minds, their brains. So right now, just imagine, we're not allowed to have a different opinion anymore. We're not allowed.
All right. This is what we're going to do. We see the pandering. The pandering won't stop. I want y'all to check this out right here. Check this out right here.
This isn't shade. This is an auntie talking. And I want you to hear me because black women don't warn loudly. We warn clearly. You didn't
belief that you are somehow less than white people. I don't know where you all get that from, but that's not a Black American issue. So with going on with Nicki Minaj is not our issue. And also Erica Kirk, she's prepping. She's going to be running for some political office. That's next for her. This is all a game. This is all to get us prepped for the next, presidential cycle, election cycle. Also, to the Barbs, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I know you all are feeling confused, but I want you to know that never worship or expect the best out of any celebrity. Celebrities will always let you down. Why? Because they're human, just like you. And they're also having the human experience. So never worship any.
She went from paying her Barb's tuitions, okay? I'm talking about nursing school. You understand? Medical school. She went from paying for you guys' tuition to now offering her platform, her very, very valuable platform, to an administration that is literally destroying American public school systems. The LGBTQ plus community. She told y'all to never stop being who you were, to live in your truth, to stay true to who you are and stay on these bitches' necks, only for her to get on a couch and nationally state to all of you that it's okay to be a boy. As an immigrant who has a lot of immigrant supporters, the Caribbean fucked with her heavy just because she was from the Caribbean, okay? She's now sided with an administration that is literally actively carrying out the most inhumane deportation policy in American history.
Oh, it's not inhumane. It's not inhumane, but it's hypocritical for her to switch sides, but it's not inhumane to enforce your immigration policies. See, it goes back to what I said. These people have been allowed to come into the United States illegally. Now that we're enforcing our immigration policies, they're upset about it because they've gotten away with it for too long. When you give people free stuff and they get away with nonsense for a long time, they become entitled. You see it with the immigrants. That's why they're marching, protesting, raising hell, as if the United States don't have a right to practice their immigration policies, as if they don't have the right to enforce their immigration policies. Let's just leave the borders wide open for everybody to come. The moment you close the borders, they're crying racism. This is inhumane. This is foul treatment. They're treating us like animals. Okay, why don't you go back to your country where they'll treat you like a human being if you're being treated like animals in the United States? It is easy to go back home if you feel like you're not being treated fair here. But of course, you don't want to go back home. You want to come over here to the land of the free. You want to get opportunities to make money, but then you want to complain about being treated unfairly at the same time. If it's so unfair over here, go back home. Nobody's stopping you. Maybe they'll treat you like a human being back in your homeland. Talking about it's inhumane to enforce immigration policies. What's wrong with these fools?
And she's still a Trinidadian citizen. She's still an immigrant. During the shutdown, the government shutdown, the federal government shutdown, she told the Democrats to stay firm. She tweeted, "Stand strong. The people need you. America needs you." And now, in front of an audience full of MAGA supporters, literally people who hate the entire, almost 95% of her fan base, okay, literally said that nothing that she's ever accomplished compares, right? It didn't mean as much as this. Those were her words exactly. It didn't mean as much as that moment on Turning Point. Ariana Grande unfollowed her. Amber Rose started defending her.
Amber Rose is an idiot. She's an airhead.
I've never been a Barb, although I can always give credit where it's due as far as her talent. But for the Barbs, I actually feel bad for you guys. I actually feel bad for you, because this is one of the worst ways for you to realize the person that you thought you understand spoke to a certain point in your life or helped you get through certain areas, hardships in your life. The music was just the music. I fear she is not the person who you thought she was.
Nicki Minaj saying that she support Trump is wild, but not for the reasons that y'all think. So when a black celebrity...
Nicki Minaj does not support Donald Trump. She's looking to gain citizenship. That's all it is. It's a scam. It's a hustle. She don't support Donald Trump. Nicki didn't vote for Donald Trump. She voted for Kamala Harris and Sleepy Joe Biden. She's not a Trump supporter. She didn't even vote for the man.
Supports him like this. People go, why are y'all mad? She's allowed to have her opinion. Cool. And we allowed to say that it's a bad opinion. Your boy DT looks a lot friendlier when the consequences of the policies don't actually hit your life. Because this ain't free thinking. This is rich people's politics. See, when you got money, taxes hit you differently, laws hit you different, police hit you differently, like don't mess with you at all. Consequences are totally different for rich people. So yeah, let's not act confused. This man didn't accidentally harm black communities. This was all intentional. Redlining rhetoric, law and order, dog whistles, rolling back voting protections, empowering folks who here make America great again. And think for who? And please miss me with that both sides talk. One side is annoying and the other side tried to overturn the election.
All right, now let's go over here. Let's go to this right here.
It is what it is. About an array of things. I think at some
No, this is what we're gonna come back to Poetic Flacco, but I want y'all to hear Nicki Minaj's apology. Now, hold on, we're gonna do this.
point in this conversation, Nicki Minaj said that black folks make white folks feel unsafe and feel like they can't love themselves. Nicki said a whole lot of nothing during this particular interview. Now, some people just have a problem with her being there, right? They have a problem with her keeping it company.
Black people make white folks feel unsafe. Man, shut up. Study the history of this country. They made us feel unsafe. It was illegal for us to go to a certain bathroom, to even drink out of a certain water fountain, to even go to a certain neighborhood. Got the nerve to say that black folks make white folks feel unsafe. Black folks ain't never created laws to oppress white folks in this country. Nikki, you're an idiot. You're a dummy. I hope they deport you for saying this stupid stuff. Talking about making white folks feel unsafe. Who's making? You get the point.
Of Turning Point and pushing their particular agenda. One of those people being Joe Budden, who is really good friends with Nicki Minaj. He has publicly denounced her and asked her not to call or text him. And he announced he's completely done with her on his podcast today.
Let's get back to it.
Let's do it.
Nicki Minaj, Turning Point USA. She went out there. By now you've seen it. I got a bunch of phone calls about it.
I bet.
I'm out. I'm done. That was it. Sorry, I'm gone. I'm gone. That's it. The last dance. That was the last candle on the cake for me. Sorry, Barbs. Sorry, Nick. Don't call me, don't text me. It is what it is. Sometimes how y'all move around out there does have an effect on how I view you, and this was one of them things. I'd be a fool to think that you didn't consider that before you did it.
I'm sure.
Which just says to me that you really don't give a I'm even more baffled. I don't even know how much of this conversation I could have, but they're so anti-transgender, which is confusing to me because I've been to the Nikki concert.
That's the thing that fucks me up.
If Nikki would have went to Turning Point, tap dance, spew some anti-black rhetoric, and went home, I would have told y'all her career about to take off, man. She's about to reach new heights she ain't never reached before. You know why? Because she just gained an entire new support system from the Maga right, and black folks ain't canceling nobody for being anti-black. Man, let's keep it honest, bro. Black folks ain't canceling nobody for being anti-black. Look at Kanye, bro.
Poetic Flacco is right. Black folks still support Tommy Sotomayor. They still support Anton Daniels. They still support the Hodge twins. They still support Officer Tatum. Black people ain't gonna cancel you for tap dancing. That's the problem in our community. Can these people give advice sometimes? Yes, but anybody can give good advice at times. Who are they really underneath everything? So I agree with Poetic Flacco. Black people are not going to cancel you for being anti-black. They still support Anton Daniels. They still support Tommy Sotomayor. Black people are not going to cancel you for being a raccoon. Black people are not going to cancel you for being a Sambo. They are not.
They put on the cancel nobody for being anti-black, an entire like new support system from the MAGA right. And black folks ain't canceling nobody for being anti-black. Man, let's keep it honest, bro. Black folks ain't canceling nobody for being anti-black. Look at Kanye, bro. Kanye put on the red hat. Bro, we're still bumping Kanye songs a year later, man. Right? Ain't nobody give a damn. So the anti-black rhetoric to me was not gonna hurt Nikki because black folks ain't never stuck together to cancel somebody, bro. We were supposed to cancel who? Gucci? A while ago. We back to wearing Gucci. We're supposed to boycott Target. We back in Target. But what really F Nikki up, man, was the anti-LGBTQIA sentiments. When she was telling boys to be
Listen, man, black people love Sambos. Let's be real. Some of the biggest content creators in the black sector are Sambos. And you can't say, well, that's because they got a white audience. Shut up. No, they don't. Yes, they do. But at the same time, they got a large black audience. Black people don't cancel. Listen, black people will not cancel. Unfortunately, they're not going to cancel you for being a Sambo. They're not. The problem is we lack pride, we lack discipline and structure, and the majority of us are not on code. This is why black people refuse to cancel Sambos. Matter of fact, black people continue to support black people who talk crazy about black people. And you know what they're going to say? Well, he's not anti-black. He's just holding us accountable. So you need a Sambo to hold you accountable? You don't understand accountability? So you want to mask this nonsense and saying he's not anti-black, he's just holding black people accountable. And you got black people who are dumb enough to believe that. Jesse Lee Peterson is an anti-black, he's just holding black people accountable. Anton doesn't have a problem with black folks, he's just holding us accountable. And you got blacks who are dumb enough to believe that crap.
Boys, which by the way is a sentiment that we agree with. Boys should be boys. But her fan base are boys who don't want to be boys. The Barbs, the Barbs are not straight women or straight men. No. The Barbs are boys who don't want to be boys. So the fact that she was willing to alienate that community for Charlie Kirk, I said, yeah, it's raps, bruh. It's over with. Because once Nicki Minaj lose her teeth, because that community was the teeth of Nicki Minaj's entire image and brand. The Barbs on Twitter who harasses everybody, who torments everybody, who get on your behind and make you apologize to Nicki, if you go at her, the Barbs is filled with that community. Once you take away the Barbs from Nicki Minaj, goodbye. Right? Goodbye. The aura gone, bruh. And she drops her album, I think, in May. Good luck.
I'm so confused by so much of what was said on that stage.
Yeah, I watched the whole thing, hoping that maybe it was going to be impartial or there was a reason, but she...
Fruit booty buttons. Corey Holcomb said fruit booty buttons.
It was just echoing a lot of the shit that you would expect to be echoed.
I remember
highly disappointing.
Oh,
same. Extremely disappointing.
I'm not disappointed.
Very anti-black of you. Very anti-black of you. Let's just call shit what it is.
I appreciate that, Afro Merchant. That's what I'm saying. Let's get some people to bless the Cash App and the Super Chat. Support the show. Support independent free thinkers like King Supreme. Support independent free thinkers like King Supreme. Don't nobody control me. Don't nobody tell me what to say. When I do these live streams, I don't write nothing down, bro. All of this comes from the top of the dome. I'm not writing none of this stuff down. I'm an independent thinker. Nobody controls me. Nobody tells me what to say.
You were saying?
Oh no! I'm not disappointed just because I've come to expect
had no
it.
expectation.
Yeah, or I expected that. Unfortunately, I remember when I first criticized Nikki a couple months ago, and I said
Fruit booty buttons. Come on.
She's doing these MAGA talking points. She sounds like a MAGA person, and the Barbs came after me like, "Why are you saying she's MAGA just because she cares about X, Y, and Z?" Is she MAGA now? Yeah. She's at a turning point conference. She's talking to Charlie Kirk's wife.
Talking about how handsome Trump is.
How handsome Trump is.
No, she went crazy.
Yeah. She also called J.D. Vance an assassin, which is a weird thing to say.
Crazy.
To the woman whose husband was just assassinated.
That was a very awkward.
It was just, you could
30
pick any
seconds.
other word, right? It was like, oh, what?
Nicki Minaj went from supporting Kamala Harris and Sleepy Joe Biden to now saying she loves Donald Trump. Nicki is fake as they come, but I get it. Nicki is pandering for a green card. Nicki is pandering for citizenship. She'll kiss the behind of Maga. She'll kiss the behind of white folks. She'll kiss the booty cheeks of Donald J. Trump.
What's happening here?
Didn't she all little girls mattered when
Yes.
talking about that? It was a hot ass mess on that stage.
It was.
That's exactly
Like there's no way to sugarcoat it.
right.
I'm done. I'm off.
And I think part of that is because we respect Nikki's mind and her autonomy. In other words, I don't think she's being duped. I don't think
A green card, and you came here saying, I think Nicki Minaj came here illegally. Nicki Minaj overstayed her visa. Nicki Minaj understands that this administration ain't playing that. And if you have a green card and you came here illegally, now I don't even know if she has a green card. I would assume she has a green card since she's still living here, but she's not married. And she came here illegally, and she's been very vocal and honest about coming over here illegally. And she even said, it's a shame she don't have a citizenship yet. So she wants a citizenship. Yo, this administration is the wrong time to play savior of black folks, to play activist, to play anti-Trump as an illegal immigrant who don't even got her citizenship yet. So maybe she's doing this to win favor with Trump. Maybe she wants a permanent green card. Maybe she wants a citizenship. Maybe she wants Trump to override something with USCIS. I think Marco Rubio has that power. So I think Nicki Minaj is playing a long con game. But essentially, when it comes to this con game, though, you have to choose between she's already chosen, but your green card or citizenship or your rap career. She chose the green card and the citizenship because the rap career to me ain't never gonna be the same again. I can't listen to a Nicki Minaj song and get that same feeling. I listened to the Monster verse the other day. Man, I said, it didn't even feel the same no more, man. And quite frankly, I'll be real, bro.
See, Nicki Minaj don't care about the Barbs and all these trans, whatever you want to call them, right? Right? Transmissions or whatever you want to call them. Hey, man, check gang. Nicki is pandering for citizenship. She will kiss the booty cheeks of MAGA. She will kiss the cheeks of the white community. She will kiss and bow down. She will bow down and kiss the cheeks of Donald J. Trump. But we all know Nikki voted for Kamala Harris and Sleepy Joe Biden. Nikki didn't vote for Donald J. Trump. Listen, homie, if Turning Point USA was real, they should have asked Nikki a real question. Okay, Nikki, you rocking with us now. You on stage. We glad to have you as a guest. But let me ask you this question. Did you vote for Kamala Harris and Sleepy Joe Biden? Or did you vote for Donald J. Trump? That's the question that everybody wants us to ask you. That's a simple question. I'm looking for a simple answer. Did you vote for Kamala Harris and Sleepy Joe Biden? That's what I would have asked Nikki. I would have put Nikki in a hot seat.
If I'm her, I'm choosing the rap career, bro. Nicki Minaj is a multi-millionaire. Nicki Minaj could move to any country in the world and live comfortably. Bro, she could move to Dubai and live comfortably. She don't need to live in the United States. I guess she's been here all her life, so that's the only thing she knows. But but selling out to this extent for a green card, man, is even worse than popping coochie for a green card and getting married.
I guess where my brain be stuck on
Booty
is
buttons.
an ounce of black is black enough for me.
Booty buttons.
A drop of black is black enough for me.
Okay.
So when you stand next to certain people that have made their agendas very clear as it pertains to black people.
Okay, so you're gonna say she's not a citizen. Okay, so she can't vote. She's not a citizen. Okay, who did you support? Did you support Sleepy Joe Biden and Skamala? Did you support the campaign of Sleepy Joe Biden and Skamala Harris? Nicki Minaj was anti-Donald Trump. She didn't like Donald Trump. She's pandering, but I get it. She's doing it for citizenship. It all makes sense. We all know that Nikki is a liberal. She's a Democrat. Nikki has a democratic liberal mindset. Nikki doesn't rock with Donald J. Trump. I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I'm an independent thinker. But at the same time, I voted for Donald J. Trump because Donald J. Trump is going hard on immigration. I'm from Los Angeles, California. We got millions on top of millions of illegals coming to our city, dumping millions of anchor babies yearly. The only reason that I voted for Donald J. Trump is because he's going hard on immigration. He made illegal immigration a top priority. That's the only reason Trump got my vote. But let's keep it a stack. We all know that Nikki is a liberal Democrat. She's not a supporter of Donald J. Trump, not at all. Nikki would have never voted for Donald J. Trump if she had citizenship in this country. Nikki would never Nikki wouldn't even be sitting on a couch with TPS USA or whatever it's called. She wouldn't be sitting on a couch with them white folks if she was a citizen of this country. Nikki is pandering for citizenship. She disrespected foundational black Americans. Now she want to come back and say, oh, I apologize, man, they played me. You didn't know?
Then that means you're complicit.
Yes.
Or in agreement. Okay.
That too.
If you're not in agreement and you look like you in agreement.
Marriage don't make you a citizen, man. They took that away a minute ago. See, there was a time to where an illegal immigrant could marry an American citizen and then they got automatic citizenship. They took that off of the table. Why? Because immigrants was getting married to American citizens for citizenship, and clearly that is a scam. Coming to America illegally for the sole purpose of dumping anchor babies to get birthright citizenship is a scam. Illegal immigrants getting married to American citizenship for citizenship is a scam, and I'm glad they shut that down a while ago.
You're complicit.
So either way.
And it's hurtful when people take all of that equity built in black and do that with it.
Maybe they don't view that drop of black like you do.
Still right.
I don't know.
All right, let's go to the next clip. Now I want y'all to hear Nicki Minaj she tried to apologize. It ain't working. It ain't working.
I messed up because it was supposed to be. I said I ain't gotta.
Don't nobody want to hear that shit. No.
I messed up because it was supposed to be. I said I ain't gotta.
Don't nobody want to hear that shit. Now one.
My bingo card.
Pandering to, they like, we got our money's worth. We ain't pay nothing.
Nicki Minaj taking back every single thing that she's said over the past 2 weeks was in fact on my bingo card. Now, unless you've been living under a rock, failed pop and R&B mistake, Nicki Minaj decided to stand on the wrong side of history. And by doing so, well, she effed around and found out. Here's the crazy part. She's now backtracking every single thing that she said, saying she was played, she was used. We all know she was just trying to get a pardon and, well, pedophiles protect pedophiles. We all know
that. He said, we all know she was trying to get a pardon and citizenship. She wanted to get her hubby pardon. So she felt like she had pandered to Donald J. Trump by saying, I'll use my superstar status to bring more followers and supporters to you as long as you give me citizenship and pardon my husband. take them off of the Epstein list or whatever it is, right?
I digress. A pardon and, well, pedophiles protect pedophiles. We all know that. I digress. But here's the crazy part. She's begging for forgiveness. She's saying the old her is back. She's gonna make music for you. She was played by that side. That the card that she was given wasn't for citizenship. It was actually just a souvenir. F around, find out. Play silly games, win silly prizes. She's now lost, I think it said 150 million listeners on Spotify. You can block her on there.
Whoa, hold on.
150.
She lost all those followers on Spotify. Of course she's gonna apologize. Of course she's gonna say, I'm gonna speak for you guys. I was played. No, Nikki, you didn't care about the people as long as you felt like when Nikki felt like there would be something in it for her, she didn't give a damn about betraying the people. Why? Because she was only thinking about herself. She didn't give a damn about the Barbs. She didn't give a damn about the foundational Black Americans who helped her to get the career that she has today. She didn't give a damn about none of that. All Nikki cared about, she didn't care. She didn't care if she threw FBA under the bus. She didn't care if she kissed the behind of MAGA to disrespect Black folks in the progress. She didn't care about none of that. As long as she got citizenship and whatever she wanted from MAGA, that's all she cared about. Nikki was thinking about herself and herself only. Nikki don't give a damn about no Black community. She don't care about none of that.
That side. That the card that she was given wasn't for citizenship. It was actually just a souvenir.
Oh, they gave her a souvenir. They gave her a Scooby snack. She thought that she gonna get a citizenship. They said, okay, you pandered to the MAGA community. We'll throw you a Scooby snack. We'll give you a Scooby snack and a doggy bag. Now go along, move along, get up out of here. Go on back to the, to the Barb community. MAGA has nothing to do with you. You ain't gonna use MAGA to get what you want. Pander to us and think you're gonna play us and get what you want. We don't give you a damn Scooby snack. We give you a damn souvenir. Man, listen here.
That the card that she was given wasn't for citizenship. It was actually just a souvenir. F around, find out. Play silly games, win silly prizes. She's now lost, I think it said 150 million listeners on Spotify. You can block her on there. So the only way to show these people that they're on the wrong side of history is to take away their finances. And how do you take away Nicki Minaj's finances? You don't listen to her crappy music anymore.
If now Nicki Minaj is singing other songs by forgiveness.
Now I told you these Africans been doing a lot of videos, bro. Yeah, nigga, yeah.
This whole situation is actually wild. Over the past couple of weeks, she very loudly chose the wrong side of history. And like they always do, she thought she was untouchable. Well, she fed around and now she's finding out. Here's the crazy part. She's now walking back everything she said, every single thing. Suddenly it's, I was played. I was used. That wasn't what I thought it was. Girl, please. She's now saying the old Nikki is back. She's begging for forgiveness, talking about how...
Does the Black community accept Nikki's apology? I want to know from y'all in the comments, because the Black community, you guys are in the comments heavy. We got over 600 people in the live chat. And let me ask you this. Should the Black community accept Nikki's apology?
She just now saying the old Nikki is back. She's begging for forgiveness, talking about how she just wants to make music for the fans again. Claiming the card she was promised wasn't even for citizenship. It was just a souvenir. Like, be serious. We all know what this was really about. She was trying to protect certain people, and yeah, pedophiles protect pedophiles. I said what I said. But anyway, I digress. The point is, the consequences finally hit. She's reportedly lost around 150 million monthly listeners on Spotify, and honestly, that's the only language people like this understand. If someone insists on standing on the wrong side of history, the only real way to respond is to hit them where it hurts their money. And how do you take away Nicki Minaj's money? You stop streaming her music, you block her, you don't support her anymore. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
African Americans have finally decided, find somebody else to do it.
That's why they're not protesting, okay? They finally decided that they are not going to be anyone's pawn in these political games anymore, in this political theater, the political theatrics. They're not going to be bothered. They're going to be at work or at home or, creating. And that's that. And I'm very happy because where's the money? Where are the billions of dollars that were stolen? Okay? Because guess what? The people who work hard and pay taxes, they have a right to know. Like, there's no more distracting people. Everyone is smarter than that. And I think that's where African Americans stand right now, is that they're not going to keep on speaking for people who every time they get in office, they completely forget about them, and they just use them, every 4 years. Find somebody else to do it.
Where's the lies at? And then these entitled people have the audacity to turn around and tell you, because you don't want to be used anymore, that you don't want to be used anymore, you're next. And you know what the response is? We always been targeted. But there's something that the immigrants have that we never had. We don't have burner lives, right? They're like cats with 9 lives. They already burnt one of their lives in wherever country they came from, came over here, and they got another life to live. But this life is furnished with furniture on a taxpayer's expense. You get to live in an inclusive, exclusive, luxury hotel in one of the most expensive cities, not only in the nation, but the world, New York City, for 2 years. All your food is paid. All your vices is paid for, clothes, whatever. Once that 2 years run out, they give you an apartment, furnish that apartment for you. Once the taxpayers' money run out, you guess what they do? Advocate for more taxpayer money, right? So you didn't basically have a 4 years of taxpayers funding your lifestyle. What American, aside from Black Americans, we already know we always been targeted, but what other American had these type of opportunities, right? And then they talking about whenever there's a social injustice or a social issue where they want people to shield and cape and literally be pew pew bags. Oh, Black Americans, come out, please, Black Americans. And when it comes time to reciprocate that energy, or that investment, because that's what you're doing. You're investing into something. Usually with an investment, you get something, a return. Not in this case. You just get used. And you know what they say?
They gave Nicki Minaj a doggy biscuit. Gave her a souvenir and a doggy biscuit. Nicki Minaj, you played yourself. Nicki, you played yourself. She was willing to throw the Black community under the bus. She threw the Barbs under the bus. Nikki went against everything that she went against everything that she stood for to get doggy biscuits and a souvenir from the MAGA community, as if she was going to gain citizenship. Nikki, you played yourself.
If you do the same thing over and over again, expecting different results, but those results never change, you know what that's called, right? You know what that's called. So why continue to go through the motion? Why continue to be used and none of that is never reciprocated? It's never poured back into you. It doesn't make sense. They over here working on their first life, second life, third life, fourth life, fifth life, 9 lives like a cat, where we haven't even had one life of opportunity, one life of chance as a collective whole as Black Americans. And this is where I land my plane at. Love or hater, I don't know what her motive is, but that's facts.
Exactly. They gave Nicki Minaj some butter biscuits and a Scooby snack, a doggy biscuit. You played yourself, Nikki.
I don't care. That's facts. In Minnesota, you think
this is what we call FFFO. He F around.
The heck they want to do when it comes to children and the trans.
This is getting worse, guys.
Check this out. Here go Nicki Minaj pandering again.
Let's keep watching.
I personally don't have an issue with the trans part of the LGBT at all. I am the biggest advocate for adults being able to do whatever the heck they want to do. When it comes to children, I wouldn't even allow my 17-year-old daughter to get breast implants. So if you want to let a child get breast implants, you're not going to want them to have any kind of surgery, because we all know the brain is not developed. And we've heard about 19 times more likely to commit suicide. What more do you need to know?
The lack of education around trans people is exactly why so many people are against the trans community. And when people like Nicki Minaj act like supporters while spreading harmful misinformation, it makes everything worse. Let's break down what she said. First, people think trans kids just wake up one day and get bottom surgery. Most trans people don't have surgery before 18, and statistics show that many never surgically transition at all. And when surgery does happen, it's after years of evaluation by health professionals, endocrinologists, and medical teams with full parental involvement. Gender-affirming care for youth actually looks like social transition for younger kids, things like name changes, different pronouns, new clothing, puberty blockers for early teens, temporary and reversible, hormone therapy for older teens, gradual and monitored. And here's what people miss. Denying a trans child puberty blockers forces them an irreversible puberty they don't want. Top surgery occasionally happens for trans people 16 plus after extensive evaluation. Bottom surgery before 18, extremely rare and only with full medical consent.
Kamala Harris was going to give free sex changes to the rainbow transgender community. Kamala Harris was going to use our tax dollars to give sex operations to trans people. You ought to be, listen, I said it before and I say it again. You ought to be embarrassed if you voted for Kamala Harris. And the sad part about it is the majority of the FBA community voted for Kamala Harris. And I know what you're going to say. Well, a lot of us sat on the couch. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the overwhelming majority of FBA people who did voted for Kamala Harris. You ought to be embarrassed for stupidity. Kamala Harris was going to keep the borders wide open, and she was going to use your tax dollars to give trans people sex operations. If Kamala Harris would have won this election, the borders would be wide open. We would have 50 million illegals in this country if Kamala would have won this election. And she would have used our money to give sex operations to trans people. And they was going to promote, and they'll continue. Listen, she said, we're going to give you abortion rights. We're going to promote gender confusion to the children. We're going to keep the borders wide open and dump millions of illegals in black communities across the country. You ought to be embarrassed if you voted for Kamala Harris as a foundational black American. I understand why tethers and illegals voted for Kamala. That makes sense, but it makes no damn sense for a foundational black American to sit up there and vote for some nonsense like that. You ought to be embarrassed if you voted for Kamala Harris as a foundational black American. You a damn fool.
Trans child puberty blockers forces them an irreversible puberty they don't want. Top surgery occasionally happens for trans people 16 plus after extensive evaluation. Bottom surgery before 18, extremely rare and only with full medical consensus and family involvement. Now let's talk about comparing breast implants to gender-affirming care. It misses the point entirely. Breast implants are aesthetic. Even with psychological distress, it's about appearance. Gender dysphoria, which many but not all transgender people experience, is clinically recognized as profound distress from a disconnect between gender identity and assigned sex at birth. And if we're worried about regret, gender-affirming surgery has 0.5 to 1% regret rate. Cosmetic breast implants, 5 to 10%. Trans people are less likely to regret their medical care than people getting cosmetic procedures. And don't even get me started on that 19 times more likely suicide statistic. Trans youth have a 40% suicide attempt rate. With gender-affirming care and family support, that drops dramatically. 73% lower odds of suicidal ideation. The care doesn't cause harm, denying it does. So if Nikki was a true trans ally and is using these comparisons, then this is what she should actually be talking about.
Now, it was never unclear to me that all of the Barbs were a little delulu, but there were at least a small amount of them who had critical thinking skills. Well, nowadays, it seems like all of the ones that had any sort of critical thinking skills have jumped ship, and now we're left with all of the ones.
I guess this is the promo run going crazy on Twitter, but Nikki, this is weird. Again, that made you look like a straight up hater. Because there's no one in music, especially in 2026, and I said it then, that would announce their album date 8 months ahead of time. I think it might even have been longer. It doesn't make sense. You're now out, everything is all going on, and we haven't heard about the album since.
This is a problem. So it really looked like I want to announce so that Cardi B does not get all the attention that she was getting at that moment. That's how it feels. And whether or not that you want to make it seem or Barb's love you so much that they try to act like it's not happening, it makes you look like a hater. Going at Jay-Z and Roc Nation every 2 seconds is making you look like you're a hater. It doesn't look like you're exposing the machine. It looks like you're bitter about something. But you have so much money that Jay-Z or Beyonce combined can't stop you. They can't. You're too powerful. So when you complain like people are intervening and doing stuff against you, no one believes it. We legitimately start to feel like you are uncomfortable with the temperature that you have in the culture. And instead of just coming to terms with that, you're starting to cool down, which is normal at someone at your stage of your career to start cooling down. You're not whack, you're not cold, you're not corny, but it looks like you're cooling down. And instead of accepting that you're cooling down, it's like you're going away kicking and fighting.
Nicki Minaj wanted to be the top dog. She don't like the fact that Cardi and a lot of these other female rappers are gaining popularity. Nicki wants to be the queen bee. And like he said, she's just cooling down. You can only be on top. You can only be on top for so long. Pretty soon you got to pass the torch. Nicki had her run. You're wealthy. You got money. Sit on back and do your thing. It's time to elevate to the next level. But pandering to the MAGA community ain't going to get it, baby.
It's ridiculous. You're going into political conversations, everything. So she goes on Twitter and goes, as they do their ritual tonight, God Almighty will reveal himself to them. The ritual will backfire on them. God will not be mocked. Blessed is the mighty name of Jesus Christ. Every tongue that rises up against me in judgment shall be condemned and put to shame. Watch, with like a magic wand. What? Nikki, magic wand?
Somebody says something about Nicki Minaj, folks jump in like, well, they said something about her first. Okay, and baby, if you're going to spend your time responding every time somebody says something about you, you are going to be busier than the customer service line on Black Friday. You ain't going to have no peace, no naps, no hydration break, just arguments and high blood pressure. I was raised on a simple rule. It ain't what they call you. It's what you answer to. People are going to...
Nicki already did her thing in hip hop. It's time to elevate to the next level. You've been there and done that. You was on top of your game for a long time. It's time to elevate to the next thing. But Nicki don't want to let it go.
Always talk. That is a lifetime subscription that nobody can cancel. You could cure the common cold tomorrow, and somebody's still going...
Let me say this to all you hate watchers. If you're watching, bless the like button. It seems like we got more hate watchers than real supporters. We got more hate watchers than actual supporters. Bless the like button. Do something. Yeah.
Say you wrong. Constantly responding to everything that somebody got to say about you is like trying to swat at every mosquito at a summer cookout. You're not fixing the problem. You just out here sweating and swinging at the air looking all crazy. And honestly, real confidence doesn't move like that. See, when you're securing yourself, you don't feel the need to clap back at every little whisper or comment. You pick your battles, but most of the time you're going to pick your own peace. And listen, feelings are valid, but feelings are not facts. And facts don't change because somebody got loud on the internet. Sometimes.
Oh, say that again. Feelings are not necessarily facts. And I wanted to say this to women, and I wanted to say this to a lot of men. Your feelings doesn't change the facts. Your feelings don't change reality. Stop trying to use emotions and feelings to debunk facts. It's not going to work in your favor. You're going to look silly. The problem with a lot of people in today's society, they want their feelings to matter more than the facts. How many of you people realize that? The problem with these new school crybabies and social justice warriors, they want their feelings to matter more than the facts. And that's a major problem in today's society.
You're going to pick your own peace. And listen, feelings are valid, but feelings are not facts. And facts don't change because somebody got loud on the internet. Sometimes the loudest flex is letting people...
Personally, but what I think is like, we all know like Nicki Minaj.
All right, let's hear what Jasmine Crockett had to say about old Nicki, baby. Yeah, the problem with you social justice warriors and you crybabies, you want your feelings to matter more than the facts. That's what you want.
Hey, I wanted to ask about Nicki Minaj.
Now, I'm not going to play with TMZ. I'm going to play the audio.
Hey, I wanted to ask about Nicki Minaj, because she's like, you know, very in the news these days, has like, you're doing a face right now.
We don't mess with Nikki.
You don't mess with Nicki?
No, we don't mess with Nikki.
Did you used to mess with her?
Oh, of course. I mean, you had to, but I will be clear. I have always loved Cardi more.
Okay.
And clearly my instincts were right to love on Cardi more than Nikki.
Totally. So you kind of flipped on her. What was the moment you decided that I just can't anymore?
I just don't do sellouts, especially in this moment, right? Like, things are too serious. There are too many people that are being harmed. And especially with her being an immigrant, then deciding to go and cozy up to this administration that is specifically putting targets on the backs of immigrants and anyone who stands with them. Even if they're U.S. citizens, they can catch a bullet. That is wrong. And I don't even understand how you can play with it and pretend like it's anything but wrong.
Why do you think she's doing it then?
Listen, I don't know if it's because she looking for some papers for some people, or if she's looking for them other papers, because, you know, I hear that she got family members that's got a little, you know, a few little issues, right? And so maybe she needs them other papers, because he love to hand those out, usually at a cost, right? But going after people like Don Lemon, who I love dearly, just wrong. Like, she's just on the wrong side of history. So I hope that people remember all of this when she comes back and she's broke and she's begging for money and support, because something tells me MAGA ain't gonna do it for her.
If Nikki came out with, like, you know, a summer jam and you couldn't not bop your head to it, do you think you'd still have to turn it off when you're in the car to come on the radio, or like, can you divorce those two things?
I think that there are plenty of people. I'll give you an example. R. Kelly, right? A lot of people took issue with R. Kelly. R. Kelly obviously is serving and doing his time right now. But something tells me that people are still bumping R. Kelly somewhere, somehow, right? I think that there are people that can divorce the art. For me, it is more so about, like, your dollars. Like, are you going to support with your dollars certain things? Because it's the dollars that have given her a platform in the first place. Otherwise, Donald Trump wouldn't even know who she was. No one would know who she was, but for the dollars that were used to support her that allowed her to have the platform that she has. Do you want to continue to support or elevate a person's platform who's then going to turn around and do things that are demeaning to us as a society?
It's interesting to me that, like, she's like the MAGA hero right now, but she's not included in their halftime Super Bowl show. You know how they're doing a Turning Points halftime show? Kid Rock is headlining. I assumed that Nikki was going to headline, but she's not even on the bill. It's a surprise. Why do you think Nikki's not on there?
She may now understand her place as it relates to MAGA, but maybe she won't. Who knows?
He said Jasmine Ratchet. Jasmine Crockett. You said, hey, man, it's a Jasmine Ratchet. Hit the like button if you haven't already. You know what it is, baby. Let's move on to the next clip. Bless that like button. It ain't nothing. Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at?
Nicki Minaj. Come on. And the greatest and most successful female rapper in history, Nicki Minaj. Come on. And you know,
Nicki Minaj has officially crossed a line that many in the industry never expected, setting off a wave of backlash that is spreading fast. Major artists such as Ariana Grande, Selena Gomez, and Kim Petras, who had just collaborated with her, unfollowed her almost immediately. The reaction was swift, loud, and brutal, signaling that something deeper is happening behind the scenes. What ignited all of this was Nicki's appearance at a recent event in Washington, D.C., tied to the rollout of a federal financial initiative called the Trump Accounts Program. While the initiative itself wasn't the center of attention, Nicki's comments on stage were. She openly declared herself Donald Trump's #1 supporter, delivering the line with complete confidence and zero hesitation. That single moment marked a sharp and highly public shift, one that directly contradicted her long history of criticizing Trump, and distancing herself from his politics. This is the same artist who, more than a decade ago, openly mocked Trump's behavior and repeatedly called out his public controversies. Yet now she's on stage praising him as though none of that history exists. And that inconsistency is exactly why the reaction has become so explosive across social media and inside the music industry. The fallout didn't stop with unfollows. Ruby Rose came forward with claims about what allegedly happened behind the scenes during Nicki's tour.
Hello guys, I'm with my favorite president, the best president of all time.
And I'm with the queen of rap.
Don Lemon publicly addressed Nicki's political shift in a sharply critical segment. Entertainment outlets are covering the backlash nonstop. And across the industry, the perception is shifting rapidly. Not because she chose a political side, but because the shift is so abrupt, so extreme, and so misaligned with the values of the fan base she built her career on. Right now, people are questioning what caused this transformation. Some believe it's strategic, others say it's desperation. But one thing is clear, this moment has become a turning point. The conversation surrounding Nicki Minaj has escalated beyond politics, raising questions about reputation, influence, and how quickly a legacy can change when the public decides the narrative has shifted too far. Nicki Minaj stunned the industry when she declared without hesitation that she was probably the president's #1 fan, a statement delivered on stage to applause and cheers that immediately sent shockwaves across social media. The reaction wasn't mild, it was instant, intense, and deeply polarized, especially considering her long public history of criticizing the same political figures she is now openly praising. Moments later, Nicki doubled down, claiming that people who criticize Donald Trump are simply bullying him and insisting that God is protecting him through every attack. The shift in tone was dramatic enough that many viewers initially believed the clip circulating online had been edited or taken out of context, but it wasn't. She said every word directly with full conviction, creating a narrative twist that left both fans and critics stunned. Then came the part that set the internet on fire. Nicki publicly pledged between $150,000 and $300,000 to support the Trump Accounts program, a figure that left many observers shocked. For most people, a sum like that represents a home purchase, long-term stability, or life-changing security, yet she offered it instantly and enthusiastically.
Nicki Minaj has many, many issues that would lead one to believe that those issues are possibly the reason that she's cozying up to MAGA right now.
To her critics, it was a sign of complete political alignment. To her supporters, it was unexpected and confusing, creating a wave of discussions about what this sudden shift means for her reputation moving forward. When Donald Trump took the stage, he returned the favor by calling her the greatest and most successful female rapper in history. It was a moment clearly built to generate headlines. The compliment might be debated artistically, but what raised eyebrows was the tone. It felt transactional, rehearsed, and calculated, as though her financial contribution and public endorsement were being rewarded in real time. That contrast becomes sharper when remembering her stance only a few years earlier. In 2020, she publicly stated she would not support Trump. She criticized his immigration policies, spoke emotionally about children being separated from their parents at the border, and reminded people that she herself arrived in the United States as an immigrant child. Her older statements made her current position feel almost unrecognizable, and that's exactly why the immediate reaction from celebrities was so swift. The unfollows began quietly but spread quickly. Major artists across pop, hip-hop, and R&B removed her from their social circles online, signaling a shift in how the industry now views this political transformation. What was once a unified fan base is now fractured, watching a moment that may mark a permanent turning point in Nicki Minaj.
All right, his audio is a little off, but hit the like button, man, and support the show, man. You know, it just is what it is.
Because she's a black woman, or at least I thought she was. She clearly has black children. So are you saying you don't mind your children growing up in a society where they cannot be taught black history?
Nikki makes a lot of cash. Not as much as Michael Dell, not quite.
Nicki Minaj has many, many issues that
And Nikki Minaj needs to be worried about Chris Hansen. She needs to be worried about.
Nicki Minaj is officially in her MAGA era, and the reaction from black celebrities has been loud.
Hello guys, I'm with my favorite president, the best president of all time.
And I'm with the queen of rap.
Nicki Minaj flipping into what fans are calling her full MAGA era didn't happen overnight, but when it finally clicked, the reaction was instant and loud.
Nikki, you know, we love her music. I've spoken to her several times, you know. Collectively, I feel like we were a little bit disappointed with her, but I feel like she needs
And is that a drag? I gotta be real, man. When you got all that makeup and wig and lashes, you look like a drag queen. And you wonder why niggas can't tell the difference. Ladies, when you put these wigs and all this cake up on, a pound of cake up and lashes, you look the same as a drag queen. We don't know the difference. Is this a drag or a real woman? I wouldn't even take a chance.
Spend a lot of time with Mr. Bruce Springsteen. Yeah. She needs to go sit on his lap and let him speak some words of wisdom to her heart. Because somebody got her off track and she needs guidance back home.
For weeks, she had been teasing certain views, liking specific posts, dropping coded captions, and sidestepping questions in that way only Nicki can. And people noticed it right away. At first, fans tried to brush it off as trolling or just Nicki being Nicki, but once the message became clear, the culture stopped laughing and started responding. A lot of black celebrities weren't confused at all.
Black women, I gotta be real with you. I know y'all get pissed off when you hear the truth, but I don't give a damn. Somebody gotta tell you. You got too many men telling you what you want to hear because they want to sleep with you, but they refuse to tell you the damn truth. When you run around with all these lace front wigs and a pound of makeup on your face and lashes, we can't tell the difference between you and a trans gentleman. The trans gentlemen's, man, this is crazy. Stop wearing all that nonsense. At this point, people don't know the difference between some of you black women and some of these trans gentlemen. You made it easy for them to look just like you with all this fake stuff on. We like natural women. I don't want no woman who looks similar to a drag queen. I don't want it.
They were disappointed, frustrated, and in some cases straight up fed up. And they didn't bother keeping those feelings private.
Disgusting. Look, this is what I'll say to Nicki Minaj. I normally don't respond to things like this, but, you know, F it. I'm going to do it this time. I think Nicki Minaj has made it very clear how she feels about African Americans in this country. For I don't think she's one of them, obviously. And she should, under Trump's rules, she should be deported because I don't think, reportedly, that she is a legal citizen here. She is undocumented. And so she has shown her disdain for African Americans. So why are you supporting her? Why are you buying her records? She's also supporting, I have lots of gay friends who love Nicki Minaj. Why are you supporting this homophobic, bigoted, ignorant woman?
What really set things off was how public and unapologetic Nicki became, not just expressing political opinions, but aligning herself with a movement that many people in her own community feel has worked against them for years. That's when the tone shifted, because this wasn't about one tweet or one opinion anymore. It was about influence, reach, and responsibility, and Nicki has all three in massive amounts. Once the dust started flying, black celebrities across music, comedy, film, and activism started weighing in.
There was a whole scene that unfolded at this church.
Right.
You saw this, right? Nicki Minaj going after Don Lemon. You see this, like for reporting it.
It was so funny to me. People hate. It's so funny how many on the right hate. They hate transgender and gay people more than they do pedophiles. It's amazing to me. Nicki don't need to worry about Don. She needs to be with damn Don Lemon, and Nicki Minaj needs to be worried about Chris Hansen.
And the responses weren't subtle at all. Some went direct, calling her out by name, while others spoke more generally but made it clear exactly who they were talking about. The main issue wasn't just politics, it was context. People pointed out that Nicki didn't rise alone. She came up through a culture that supported her, defended her, and elevated her to superstar status, and now it felt like she was turning her back on that same base. For many, it came off less like independent thinking and more like performative rebellion. especially since her comments lined up neatly with talking points that have historically dismissed Black concerns.
I believe that Donald Trump and the conservative movement in this country selected Nicki Minaj because they needed a replacement for Candace Owens. Remember, Candace Owens has fallen out of favor with the Republican Party and the mainstream conservative white agenda because she's now exposing the Zionist control of the conservative movement and of the United States government. In fact, Art, I would argue that Charlie Kirk was assassinated, I believe, by the Zionist movement. We're going to distance ourselves from Candace, and this is Donald Trump, the Republican Party.
Let's go to this. I want you guys, hold on 1 second. Hit the like button. Let's get you guys to bless that like button. Quit playing with that like button.
In the mainstream white conservative movement, we got to find another Black woman. We got to find another Black woman who can compete with Candace Owens nationally and internationally to bring attention away.
It is mighty
from
funny that Dr. Umar got everything else figured out except for his own nonsense. Can't get to school, can't get anything right in his personal life, but he got all his advice for everybody else. Dr. Umar knows what everybody else should do. It's been 20 years and he can't even open the damn school. What a damn fool.
Candace Owens, who is highlighting the Israeli influence on American politics. And so who better to use than Nicki Minaj?
Celebrities who spent years speaking on inequality, policing, voting rights, and representation made it clear that they saw Nicki's shift as harmful, not edgy. And they weren't worried about being polite either, because to them, silence would have looked like approval. What made this moment even louder was how fast social media amplified everything.
Correct, but she says something to the effect that
it's mighty funny that Dr. Umar has the answers to everybody else's problems. In 20 years, he can't even open a school. And he blamed it on white supremacy. He blamed it on a white man having his foot on his neck. He said Black people didn't give him enough money. And he's still dealing with systemic racism and white supremacy. So white supremacy is to blame why Dr. Umar couldn't open a school. And it took 20 years and he still couldn't do it. Blame it on white supremacy. The white man still got his foot on Dr. Umar's neck, apparently. But on the flip side, Dr. Umar has the answers to everybody else's problems.
Not just that we correct, but she says something to the effect that it's not just that we tell Black children to feel proud of themselves, but it's like we're doing that. And at the same time, we're telling other children not to feel proud of themselves. And so I guess she was alluding to this false narrative that the conservatives are putting out there, that teaching Black children Black history and teaching white children the true history of America is somehow going to make white children feel bad about themselves. That bothered me because she's a Black woman, or at least I thought she was. She clearly has Black children. So are you saying you don't mind your children growing up in a society where they cannot be taught Black history or the true history of America?
Yeah.
Besides her politics, they questioned the timing. Some pointed out how this shift happened as her relationship with fans has become more strained, suggesting that controversy was becoming part of the brand. Others argued it was deeper than that, saying Nikki—
Hit the like button. Let's get to this clip right here. Check this out right here. Yeah, check this out right here.
President Trump. Yes, because when I saw how he was being treated over and over. President Trump. Yes, because when I saw how he was being treated over and over and over, I just couldn't handle it. Like, because I felt that same, a lot of that bullying and the smear campaigns and all of the lying, I felt that had been done to me for so many years. And I was watching it in real time happen to someone else. And I didn't think he deserved it.
See, now she's making excuses for why she supported Donald. Donald J. Trump was being bullied. I decided to support him because he was being bullied, but they tricked me. No, you was pandering for a green card. You was pandering for citizenship. Stop trying to make it seem like the only reason you supported Donald Trump is because you was bullied in the media and you wanted to support Donald Trump because somehow he was being bullied in the media. You're lying. That is an easy lie to tell your fans. Hopefully they got enough common sense to see through the nonsense. Hopefully they got enough common sense to see through the nonsense. The only reason why I was pandering to Donald Trump because I felt like Donald Trump needed protection. I was bullied in the media. Trump was being bullied in the media. So that's why I supported him. No, you was pandering to MAGA for a green card. You pandered to MAGA for citizenship. You threw foundational Black Americans and Black folks under the bus in the process, kissing the behinds of MAGA and Donald J. Trump. Don't let Nikki fool you with this nonsense. Well, the only reason I supported Donald Trump is because he was being bullied. You supported Donald J. Trump. You pandered to Donald J. Trump and the MAGA community for citizenship and a green card.
It made me think, I can't do this anymore.
Breaking news. 58-year-old LL Cool J was humiliated.
President Trump. Yes. Because when I saw how he was being treated over and over and over, I just couldn't handle it. Like, because I felt that same, a lot of that bullying and the smear campaigns and all of the lying, I felt that had been done to me for so many years. And I was watching it in real time happen to someone else. And I didn't think he deserved it. And it made me think, I can't do this anymore.
Man, if you believe that, you a damn fool. You a damn fool if you believe that. You a fool.
Saying Nikki has always positioned herself against criticism, and this was just the latest version of that defiance. Either way, the pushback was relentless, and it wasn't coming from random accounts, it was coming from peers with their own platforms and legacies. Another major point that kept coming up was influence on younger fans. Nikki isn't just an artist, she's a symbol, and many Black celebrities stressed that symbols matter. They argued that when someone with her reach openly embraces a political identity tied to policies that have negatively impacted Black communities, it sends a confusing and damaging message. Some said flat out that you can have your own views, but once you monetize them, promote them, and encourage others to follow, you're no longer just speaking for yourself. That line between personal belief and public influence became the heart of the debate, and Nikki was standing right in the middle of it. And while she stayed defiant, the criticism only grew stronger. The tension didn't just live online either. Interviews, podcast conversations, and stand-up routines all started referencing the situation. Comedians cracked sharp jokes, activists delivered serious warnings, and musicians expressed disbelief that someone who once spoke about industry bias could now align with forces seen as dismissive of those same struggles. What made it sting more was that many of these voices had defended Nikki in the past during her own controversies. That history added weight to their responses because it felt personal, not performative. This wasn't outsiders piling on. This was people from the same cultural space saying, this isn't it. By the time the first wave of reactions settled, one thing was clear. This wasn't a minor celebrity disagreement that would fade in a few days. Nikki's political stance had cracked open a deeper conversation about loyalty, accountability, and what it means to hold power in Black culture. The responses from Black celebrities weren't coordinated, but they were aligned in tone, and that tone was disappointment mixed with concern. Whether Nikki cares or not is still up for debate, but the message sent back to her was unmistakable. This moment marked a shift, not just in how people view her politics, but in how they view her place in the culture. And once that question is asked,
make sure that you bless that like button. If you haven't blessed that like button, you are committing a crime. King Supreme, we in the damn game. Now, we should have at least 500 people blessing the like button. I wanted to drop the link, but nah, man, I'm not gonna drop the link, man. If the likes and support ain't adding up, we ain't doing that no more. Y'all got to put some more respect on the show. Get the likes up now. When the likes add up to the viewers, that's when I'll drop the link. If the likes don't add up to the viewers, I ain't doing it no more. Let's go.
out there, it doesn't just disappear. As the backlash kept building, the second wave of reactions from black celebrities felt even sharper and more intentional, like people were done giving Nikki the benefit of the doubt. At this point, it wasn't shock anymore. It was frustration, and you could hear it in how people spoke about the situation. A lot of voices made it clear that this wasn't about telling Nikki how to vote. It was about how loudly she was signaling allegiance to a movement that many black communities see as hostile to their survival. Celebrities started framing it as a power issue, not a politics issue, stressing that Nikki doesn't exist in a vacuum and never has. When you have millions of followers, global influence, and a fan base that rides hard for everything you say, every move carries weight whether you admit it or not. Some artists question why Nikki suddenly seemed more passionate about defending MAGA talking points than addressing issues that directly affect her own community. That contrast didn't sit right with people at all. They pointed out how quiet she's been during moments of real crisis, yet
shout out to my man Black Panther for blessing us with a 40. Salute to Black Panther for the 40. Shout out to T-Fam for the 7. Shout out to Afro Nat for the 20. Shout out to Vernon 85 for the 5. We alive, Jack.
Incredibly vocal when it comes to clapping back at critics or stirring controversy. That imbalance became a huge talking point because it fed into the idea that this shift wasn't rooted in principle, but in ego and defiance. To a lot of black celebrities, it looked like Nikki choosing provocation over protection, and that choice hit a nerve. What really escalated things was how Nikki responded or didn't respond to the criticism. Instead of engaging thoughtfully, she leaned into sarcasm, subtweets, and dismissive comments, which only made the pushback louder. Celebrities reacted by saying this wasn't some online beef you could laugh off. This was real-world impact. They warned that glamorizing MAGA politics without acknowledging its consequences was reckless, especially when so many fans look up to her as more than just a rapper. That dismissive tone made it easier for critics to say she wasn't misunderstood, she was just uninterested in accountability. Another layer that kept coming up was legacy. Black celebrities asked what Nikki wanted her name to represent 10 or 20 years from now. They talked about how influence outlives chart positions and how cultural memory doesn't forget moments like this. For someone who fought so hard to be recognized and respected in a male-dominated industry, many felt she was now undermining that legacy by aligning herself with forces that don't value the culture she came from. That hurt ran deep because it felt like watching someone rewrite their own story in real time, and not for the better. There was also a strong reaction from black women specifically, who felt conflicted and disappointed at the same time. Some said they still respected Nikki's talent but couldn't defend her choices anymore. Others expressed exhaustion, saying it felt like another example of a powerful figure abandoning collective struggle once they reached a certain level of wealth and security. That conversation struck a chord because it tapped into a broader frustration about celebrities distancing themselves from the realities regular people face. Nikki became a symbol in that discussion, whether she wanted to or not. As clips, tweets, and reaction videos kept circulating, the divide grew clearer every day. Fans who supported Nikki doubled down, while critics became more organized and vocal. Black celebrities didn't just react emotionally, they broke down policies, history, and lived experience to explain why this wasn't just agree to disagree territory. They emphasized that MAGA politics aren't neutral, and pretending they are ignores years of damage and division. That educational tone made the criticism harder to dismiss, because it wasn't about canceling Nikki, it was about confronting reality. By the end of it, the conversation had fully shifted from Nikki herself to what her moment represents. Black celebrities made it clear they weren't trying to silence her, they were pushing back because silence would have felt like complicity. This wasn't a trend, a phase, or a harmless opinion in their eyes. It was a line being crossed in public view, and whether Nikki plans to stay in this lane or pivot again, the reaction she triggered is already locked into cultural memory. The message from the community was loud, layered, and impossible.
What makes Nicki Minaj different from I will vote for Donald Trump? Now Nicki want to claim Donald Trump played her. What did the Cubans in Florida say? Donald Trump tricked us. Donald Trump tricked us. We didn't know he was going to deport our people. Donald Trump tricked us. Well, Nicki is saying the same thing. She's saying Donald Trump played me. The MAGA community played me. They tricked me. Isn't that what the Latinos in Florida said about Donald Trump? Donald Trump tricked us. We didn't know Donald Trump tricked us. No, Donald Trump did not trick you. You didn't have common sense. You didn't use your brain. Maybe you have a bird brain. Donald Trump tricked me. No, no, no. I will vote for Donald Trump. I will vote for Donald Trump. Yeah. Donald Trump didn't trick nobody. Nikki came with the same playbook. Donald Trump played me. Donald Trump tricked me. Nah, no, he didn't. No, he didn't. Donald Trump did not trick you, Nikki. You're bullshitting. No. Donald Trump tricked us. Nah.
Hello. Well, I don't know what to say, but I will say that I am probably the president's #1 fan. And that's not going to change. And the hate or what people have to say, it does not affect me at all. It actually motivates me to support him more. And it's going to motivate all of us to support him more. We're not going to let them get away with bullying him and, the smear campaigns. It's not going to work, okay? He has a lot of...
Hey, look at Donald J. Trump. He's smiling. Yeah, I got a black woman going to bat for me now. Yeah, I got black women defending me. Donald Trump over there with his Birdman hands. He like, yeah. Hey, Donald Trump doing Young Jeezy and Birdman at the same time. He's sitting up there looking like Young Jeezy. Yeah. Rubbing hands like Birdman. So, yeah, I got a black woman to support my bulls. Yeah. I got black women going to bat for me now. Donald J. Trump said, I'm unstoppable. I got black women supporting me. Yeah. With my Birdman hands, rubbing hands. Damn. Nikki says she's the biggest Donald Trump supporter. Now all of a sudden, you want to say, well, Donald Trump tricked me. The MAGA community tricked me. No, they didn't. You thought Donald J. Trump was going to give you citizenship. Instead, he gave you a doggy biscuit and butter biscuits. He gave you a doggy biscuit, a Scooby snack. Told you to kick rocks. As Big E say, he told you to kick rocks with no socks. The MAGA community gave you butter biscuits and a Scooby snack and sent you on your way. You played yourself. They didn't play you.
Hello. Well, I don't know what to say, but I will say that I am probably the president's #1 fan. And that's not going to change. And the hate or what people have to say, it does not affect me at all. It actually motivates me to support him more. And it's going to motivate all of us to support him more. We're not going to let them get away with bullying him and, the smear campaigns. It's not going to work, okay? He has a lot of force behind him, and God is protecting him. Amen.
Thank you.
Look at Donald J. Trump over there with them Birdman hands.
Guy Benson joined me here in New York this Texas, where there have been far more arrests by ICE over the last year than we've seen in Minneapolis. none of this chaos has transpired in Texas. There have been a few attacks on ICE agents, including a sniper who tried to kill them. But in terms of street protests and agitations and all of that, we haven't seen that materialize because the local and state officials cooperate with the feds, and there's an orderly transfer of criminal, illegal aliens behind bars. Right before people are let out of jails, the ICE detainers are honored. ICE comes in, and there's a transfer of custody in a way that is secure.
Now let's hear what Nikki had to say about illegal immigration. Then we're gonna show what she had to say about FBA. Nikki on FBA. Huh? Jason Whitlock won't put down the pork chops and ham hock. I'm getting ready to go in on him.
How has illegal immigration impacted the Black community specifically?
Well, African Americans have finally decided, find somebody else to do it. That's why they're not protesting, okay? They finally decided that they are not going to be anyone's pawn in these political games anymore, in this political theater, the political theatrics. They're not going to be bothered. They're going to be at work or at home or, creating. And that's that. And I'm very happy because where's the money? Where are the billions of dollars that were stolen? Okay? Because guess what? The people who work hard and pay taxes, they have a right to know. Mm-hmm. Like, there's no more distracting people. Everyone is smarter than that. And I think that's where African Americans stand right now, is that they're not going to keep on speaking for people who every time they get in office, they completely forget about them, and they just use them, every 4 years. Find somebody else to do it.
If you don't want to do it, get another bit to do it. If you don't want to do it, get another 5150 in the house. Yeah, you ain't gonna use foundational Black Americans as political pawns no more.
You want to repeat it. You want to be it. You want to be in the mirror and saying, hi. You want to do a video wearing your heel. That's what we do. Our culture. We influence the world. Everybody wants to be like us. They want to look like us. They want to talk like us. They want to act like us.
Well, white women can say you got blonde hair. You're trying to look like them. See, Black women, I got to say this to you, Black women, respectfully. I'm saying this out of love. You can't say that white women are copying you, but you got a blonde European wig on. White women can easily say that you're trying to look like them. See, you know what a white man can't say about King Supreme? They can't say that I'm trying to look like them. They can't say that I'm wearing their hair. Black women, I'm trying to give you some advice. I'm trying to give you some game. Stop saying that everybody's trying to look like you, but you got a whole European blonde wig on.
You want to repeat it. You want to be it. You want to be in the mirror and saying, hi. You want to do a video wearing your heel. That's what we do. Our culture. We influence the world. Everybody wants to be like us. They want to look like us. They want to talk like us. They want to act like us. You want to repeat it. You want to be it. You want to be in the mirror and saying, hi. You want to do a video wearing your heel. That's what we do. Our culture. We influence the world. Everybody wants to be like us. They want to look like us. They want to talk like us. They want to act like us. You want to repeat it. You want to be it. You want to be in the mirror and saying, hi. You want to do a video wearing your heel. That's what we do. Our culture. We influence the world. Everybody wants to be like us. They want to look like us. They want to talk like us. They want to act like us. You want to repeat it. You want to be it. You want to be in the mirror and saying, hi. You want to do a video wearing your heel. That's what we do. Our culture. We influence the world. Everybody wants to be like us. They want to look like us. They want to talk like us. They want to act like us. You want to repeat it. You want to be it. You want to be in the mirror and saying, hi. You want to do a video wearing your heel. That's what we do. Our culture.
Now, when Nicki Minaj came out and did that whole thing about Christians being persecuted in Nigeria, I knew then that she was positioning herself to be a part of the MAGA movement. Now, I was a Nicki Minaj fan about 15 years ago when she had come out and she was like the mixtape queen on everybody's albums. The song Monster that she did with Kanye West before he too went crazy. Or Bottoms Up that she did with Usher. Things like that. Never liked her singles and never got into the beef that she had with Cardi B. Didn't care about any of that. But lately I noticed that she did kind of fall off, and her music career fell not too long before she announced that she was getting married. Now, there is a lot of speculation as to why she is doing what she is doing when it comes to the Bone Spurs administration and why she is suddenly coming out after everything that we have seen in these past 10, 11 months. Why is she coming out to support them in this fashion when her words before, specifically about the VP, seem to be a little bit different? Now, Turning Point USA had this memorial thing in Phoenix, and Nicki Minaj came to speak at that. And notably, a lot of the other Black creators who also were part of Turning Point USA were not invited to this event, but she was. That can probably be chalked up to her status as someone who is super famous, and perhaps someone that they can use to be the face to try to gather more of the Black community. Now that Candace Owens had proven herself to be against Turning Point USA, they don't have a Black face to put in front to try to gather more people of the Black community to cheer on and support their own demise. So Nicki Minaj, someone of her celebrity and fame, can be that. Someone with her influence can probably bring in new people to Turning Point USA, or at least get them indoctrinated into that rhetoric. And boy, girl is ready. The thing is, what's in it for her? I have 3 possibilities that we'll break down. One that I'm hearing is her husband, Kenneth Petty, which that is the perfect name for his petty ass. Nicki Minaj and Kenneth Petty got married in 2019. But before that, he had a pretty long rap sheet. He was convicted of attempted SA in 1994. He and the girl that he tried to SA were both 16 years old. So I've been hearing rumors that he himself is a pedo. No, he tried to SA someone when he and that person were both kids. Now, he was convicted of that and got 4 years in prison. When he got out, he needed to register as a level 2 offender. This was in New York. Now, in 2006, he pled guilty to first-degree manslaughter after the unaliving of a man named Lamont Robinson. He got 10 years for that, but he only served 7. I don't know where Nicki Minaj picked this guy up from, but they married in 2019, and they moved to California. Now, in California, he was supposed to register as an offender because he was registered as an offender in New York. He didn't do that. He thought he could get a clean slate by moving across the country.
Hell no. He said, hell no, I ain't finna sit up there and register as no sex offender.
That is not how that worked out. He was arrested in 2020, and he pled guilty in 2021. And was sentenced in 2022 to 1 year of house arrest, as well as 3 years of probation and $55,000 in fines. And I think it is important to note here that that crime was a federal offense, which I'll get back to. Now, he violated his probation when he made a social media video threatening the rapper Offset. In that video was another person with a rap sheet, all of the things in which he was not supposed to be doing. So they gave him an additional 120 days of house arrest. Now, on top of that, Nicki and Petty were sued by the girl that Petty had tried to SA when they were 16. That girl sued them in 2021, saying that they were intimidating her, harassing her, and trying to bribe her with up to $500,000 to sign a pre-written statement recanting her accusations against Petty. Now, in 2022, the suit was dropped against Nicki, but the case is ongoing between this girl and Petty. And just as a side note, Nicki and Petty were also sued and had to pay $500,000 to a security guard in Germany after Nicki and the security guard got into an argument and Petty broke his jaw. Seriously, where did she find this guy? Now, people are saying that she is doing this with the whole MAGA thing because she wants a pardon for her husband. And she wants his record expunged so that he no longer has to register as an offender. The problem is, the current POS of the United States cannot pardon
Nicki Minaj is looking for citizenship and she wants to pardon her husband. That's why she pandered to the MAGA community.
State crimes. Petty was convicted of attempted SA and pled guilty to manslaughter in New York. He was charged by New York State. So those crimes are not going away. The only thing that Bone Spurs could do is pardon him of the crime of not registering in California, because that was a federal crime. So if that's not it, then maybe it's something else. People have also brought up that her older brother, Jelani Mirage, is also in trouble. Now, Jelani Mirage was convicted in 2017 for repeatedly essaying his 11-year-old stepdaughter. He assaulted her.
So Nicki Minaj's husband is a sex offender as well as her brother. So your husband and brother got SA charges. Well, at least sleeping with women underage. I don't know. I want to be Pacific. So your brother and husband are both connected to sex crimes. What a bunch of perverts. What a bunch of sexual deviants. That is a bad look for Nikki and her image.
Multiple times a week while her mother was at work for months.
Yeah.
Just Bone Spurs' type. Now, this occurred in Long Island, and he was sentenced in 2020 to 25 years to life for this crime. The crime took place in 2015. He was convicted in 2017 and was sentenced to 25 years in 2020. He has since tried over and over again to appeal the conviction, but has been rejected thus far by the judges. Now, one could think that she is doing this to try to get a pardon for her brother, but he's facing the same problems as her husband because the attack on that 11-year-old girl was done in Long Island. So the state of New York is the one that has prosecuted him. These are state charges, and the state is the one that sent him to jail for 25 years. These aren't federal charges, so Bone Spurs can't do anything about those federal charges. Not in the sense of just pardoning him and being done with it. Now, the third reason why she is doing this may be a little bit more likely. Nicki Minaj, even though she has been here since she was 5 years old, is not a citizen of the United States. She was born in Trinidad and Tobago, and she came here when she was 5 years old to be with her mother, who had a green card and is also not a citizen of the United States. Nicki Minaj is a legal resident with a green card, but I laughed a little bit when she said our president because
hold on, let's hear that again.
Had a green card and is also, since she was 5 years old, is not a pardoning him and being done with it. Now, the third reason why she is doing this may be a little bit more likely. Nicki Minaj, even though she has been here since she was 5 years old, is not a citizen of the United States. She was born in Trinidad and Tobago, and she came here when she was 5 years old to be with her mother, who had a green card and is also not a citizen of the United States. Nicki Minaj is a legal resident with a green card, but I laughed a little bit when she said our president because she didn't even vote for him. She couldn't.
Of course she couldn't, but if Nicki Minaj had the ability to vote, she would have voted for Kamala Harris. Nicki Minaj is a liberal Democrat. Even if Nikki had the ability to vote, she would have voted for Sleepy Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. I promise. Nikki is a liberal Democrat, 100%. Even though she couldn't vote, we already know her support went to Kamala Harris and Sleepy Joe Biden.
She's not a citizen, so technically, he's not her president. But that's what she's going to say because it sounds really good to the base. But not only that, is I can't help but think that the timing of this is a little interesting. Bone Spurs' rhetoric against immigrants has been getting browner and browner. And after the oh-so-convenient attack in D.C., Bone Spurs has really been honing in on the Black-presenting immigrant community. People like her. There is no better way to make sure that you don't get deported or detained than to suck up to Bone Spurs. And being that she has $1 million for that gold card, positioning herself in that way could also help her fast-track her citizenship. But then why not just pay the $1 million for the gold card and be done with it? Well, for one, she's Black, so she has to do a little bit more to get that gold card. But second, cozying up to people who are in Bone Spurs' orbit can help her garner favor to get some backdoor deals going at the state level to help her brother and her husband. Trying to influence the federal laws, for example, when it comes to the registry, or having Bone Spurs put pressure on some of those judges that her brother is trying to get to appeal his case. Snuggling up to the UN ambassadors, which will get her a lot of openings to other people within the administration, and thus the people who make the laws. Nicki Minaj could have quietly supported Bone Spurs, and I can't say whether what she is saying she actually believes or not. Not my place, I don't care. But what it does seem like is that she has a couple of objectives that she is trying to accomplish by sucking up to Bone Spurs and his administration. And they are more than
exactly. Lotus Ty, you just said it. Exactly what it. Nicki Minaj is a liberal Democrat who can't vote. But we all know that politically, when you think about her mindset and what she believes in, Nikki is a liberal Democrat 100%. If Nikki had the ability to vote, she would have voted for Sleepy Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. She would have never voted for Donald Trump in a million years unless she felt like Donald Trump could do something for her. Outside of that, she would never vote for a Republican. She would never vote for a Donald J. Trump if she had the ability to vote. Nikki would have supported Sleepy Joe Biden and Kamala Harris 100% if she had the ability to vote.
To invite her in because they need a Black presenting face to replace Candace Owens. Black people, don't be fooled by this. She does not have the Black community's best interests at heart. And to get what she wants, she is more than willing because they need a Black presenting face to replace Candace Owens. Black people, don't be fooled by this. She does not have the Black community's best interests at heart. And to get what she wants, she is more than willing to lead some in the Black community toward their own demise.
Now, that was all facts, man. Shout out to that sister right there, man. I want to give her props. I want to give her props for the video. Her name is JS Candid. JS Candid did a good job at breaking everything down in that video. Shout out to that sister right there. I appreciate the commentary. You know, she did a good job, man. Check this out.
Of us, like, I know that they're not. Don't you guys?
Shout out to Ant Urban Politicians. I got the video, but man, I didn't want to go through all this to find the timestamp. Shout out to Ant Urban Politicians out there in Houston, Texas. Shout out to Ant, man. I'm gonna use this video right here. Nicki Minaj pandering to the MAGA community.
Agree? They haven't lost touch of the world. You know.
Shout out to Lions Dollars. Shout out to Lions Dollars for the cash app. Appreciate you, bro. Lions Dollars bless us with a 10. You dig?
They're still connected to the. They haven't. When I hear them speak, I very. Our vice president, he makes me. Well, I love both of them, but they're both powerful men.
Nicki Minaj does not love Donald Trump and JD Vance. She does not. She's lying.
Smart, strong, all of that. But both of them have a very uncanny ability to be someone that you relate to. I can relate to them. When I hear them speak, I know that they're one of us. Like, I know that they're not. Don't you guys agree? They haven't lost touch of the world. You know, they're still connected to the world and what's happening in the world, with the younger people and older people, with the richer people and not so rich people. They have the ability to still connect and be real and make us feel proud to be American. We were not being represented and not being admired for our beauty. If we felt like that as Black women, why would we want to do that to other women? Amen. Why would we now need to make other people downplay their beauty so that we can feel, no, that's not how it works. I don't need someone with blonde hair and blue eyes to downplay their beauty because I know my beauty. Do you understand? It doesn't bother me that a woman feels and says that she's beautiful. Amen. Why shouldn't she feel that? Why have we gotten to a point where certain colors or certain kinds of people have to be afraid of loving themselves and loving the way they look? Mm-hmm. Like, isn't that wild? Yeah. Be boys. Amen. Be boys. It's okay. Be boys. It's nothing wrong with being a boy. Amen. How about that? Amen. How powerful is that? How profound is that? Amen. Boys will be boys, and there's nothing wrong with that. I've traveled the world. I've performed for huge crowds all around the world. And no matter how many songs I do on that stage, it didn't mean as much as this. Because
right now, Black culture is being held captive by influences, songs, and role models. I mean, Nicki Minaj, Cardi B.
Okay, Nicki Minaj is causing dads to leave the home.
Hold on a second. I don't think that's a good role model for 18-year-old Black girls. I don't think that songs that are talking about, like, glorifying wet female genitalia is exactly, I don't know which one wrote that song. Which one was it?
I think it was Ben Shapiro.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, but by the way, the role models of the 1940s and 50s for Black America were completely different.
So it is a representation issue.
Hold on a second. No, not representation. It's who do you get your art from? It's what values are they putting forward? It's
yo, it's Big Ant, the spokes. Shout out to Ant, man, out there in Houston doing this thing, man. You know, we appreciate your commentary, my brother. For sure. Shout out to the urban politicians. My dog, Big Ant.
We're not allowed to think out loud anymore. We're not like.
Shout out to my man DJ for that 30 on the Cash App. He said, keep pushing and doing your thing, King Supreme. Shout out to DJ for that 30. You heard me?
This is not what the world used to feel like.
You heard.
And especially for the young people, I don't want them growing up in a world where they feel like that. I mean, they deserve for their voices to be heard. They have valid feelings and they're thinking about things, and it deserves attention. You know, we should listen to what they're saying. And if you're growing up in a world that
Man, you got to think, man, Nikki is pandering for citizenship, and she's pandering to get her husband pardoned by Donald J. Trump and the MAGA community. She's saying that white women shouldn't downplay their beauty. I told black women before, and I say it again, damn it. The white man has made the American white woman the standard of beauty, and he's made the American black woman the standard of booty. He's going to over-sexualize women for entertainment and money. Don't get mad at Red Supreme or King Supreme for saying this. I'm giving you the thoughts of the American white man. The American white man has made the American blonde white woman the standard of beauty, and he's made the American black woman, or black women in general, the standard of booty. Somebody that you over-sexualize to get money. You're damn right. The white man said, yeah, we don't let black women be the standard of booty, but I'm going to make that all-American white woman the standard of beauty. And he made black women the standard of booty, which means he's going to over-sexualize you for money. And we're going to use your booty to do it. Hey, man, that's realer than rap. No cap.
It's taboo to say something that the masses don't agree with. That's not okay. And we're not going to have it. And I love this. You know, it's giving the younger people confidence that they will
need. Hey, black women, but let's be real. You can't get mad at that. White women want booty too. Black women have been praised for their butt so much to the point to where white women even want booty nowadays. White women said being the standard of beauty ain't enough. White women now want booty. White women want beauty and booty. I'll say it again if you didn't understand. White women want beauty and booty. White women want to have the best of both worlds.
Later on in life, you guys will need it, and you will have it. So I'm rooting for you.
Amen. Amen. Again, Charlie would always say, it really does not take skill to be courageous. It takes a choice. It takes a decision. And I want to say again, thank you for coming.
This is why the black woman got to step her game up. Black women, I'm going to be real with you. Black women, it's time to step your game up. You ain't heard me before. You better hear me now. Oh, you better listen up and hear me now. White women said we already the standard of beauty. If we can become the standard of booty, we can defeat the black woman easily. This is why white women are getting booty, because they said we already the standard of beauty. If we get some booty, it'll be game over. Oh, yeah, hell yeah, it'll be game over. Please recognize what I'm laying down there. Peace, love, and blessings giving you game to keep you from stressing. White women feel like they have the beauty game sold up. Now that they have the beauty game sold up, they are now getting booty to eliminate the black woman so that the black woman will be no competition. White woman said if we have beauty and booty, we could easily defeat the black woman. And that is the mindset of the white tea female, the white tea woman. Yeah. The white woman wants booty and beauty. This is why you see white women going out to get booty. Please believe me, King Supreme, support the damn channel, hit the Cash App, support the super chat. Booty and beauty. That is a, hey man, listen, if you got beauty and booty, that is a deadly combination. That is a lethal weapon. You see a woman coming on the scene and she possesses beauty and booty, she's gonna kill the game. Yeah. You can't go wrong when you got beauty and booty.
And being courageous and being able to share your heart with us. And the reason why that also holds true sentiment-wise is because I know that you are getting a lot of backlash from your own industry. What is your reaction to that?
I didn't notice.
Amen. I feel the same way. When people are like, what do you think about them? I'm like, I don't think about them.
Bingo. We don't even think about them.
We don't have time to. We're too busy building, right?
Yeah, we're the cool kids.
Okay.
The other people, they're the ones who are still just disgruntled, but really they're just disgruntled with themselves.
I said this to black women. I've been saying it for years. Oh, that's gender war content. Man, shut your weak ass up, fool. This is reality. This ain't gender war content. Some of this stuff is just facts and reality. Then you refuse to deal with it. You're too damn busy pandering to women in hopes to get some punani that you ain't gonna never get, fool. Listen up, dude. Hey, check it. This is how white women are combating black women. This is how white women are combating black women. White women say, okay, we got the beauty, but if we have booty and femininity, hey, man, that is a great combination. If you got beauty, femininity, and beauty, excuse me, if you have beauty, femininity, and booty, you're going to kill the game. No one is going to be competition for the American white woman. If you combine beauty, femininity, and booty, you're gonna kill the game as a woman. Now, too many see, this is the problem. I want to educate our sisters. Having booty alone is not enough. It'll make men want to sleep with you, but it's not enough. It's a combination of different things. It's kind of like men. Having money is not enough because you got a lot of feminine men with money. You know how many feminine men out there got money, but they lack manhood and masculinity? There's several of men out there with money who lacks masculinity and leadership qualities. So I say this to women. It don't matter what color you are. You're going to kill the guy. I don't care if you're a white woman, you're a black woman, a Latino, or an Asian. If you have beauty, femininity, and booty, you're going to kill the game. Nobody's going to be competition for you.
They are angry with themselves, you guys. So you can't wake up and think about somebody who is determined to just stay mad. I literally tell them, stay mad.
Amen.
Stay mad. Because we're going to stay joyful, and peaceful, and iconic, and smart, and we're going to stay thinkers. In a world that doesn't want us to think, we will think. By ourselves on our own.
Let me say this, man. Let me say this. A lot of people who was moderators on Red Supreme TV1, a lot of you guys haven't supported me in over a year. I got to be real with you guys, man. I got new people who are supporting the show, and they deserve wrenches. I got to give Go Gadget a wrench. Go Gadget supports almost every show. And that's not, I'm not even saying that he has to. He supports the channel because he believes in the content. So a lot of people who had wrenches on Red Supreme TV1, you ain't came over here to support me. If you know my channel got deleted and taken down, how come you're not supporting the new platform? I got new people supporting the platform. So if you've been rocking with me since Red Supreme TV1 and you know YouTube deleted my channel and you ain't came over here to support me, then it says a lot. Hey, man, action speaks louder than words. If you know my channel got taken down because YouTube don't like my message, how come I ain't seeing you over here supporting King Supreme TV? The majority of people who support me now, a lot of these people are new subscribers. The people who supported Red Supreme TV1, I don't even see them over here. So if you're really rocking with King Supreme, show some love and support. You already know YouTube been trying to silence my voice. YouTube been trying to silence me for a long time. So if you're really rocking with me, how come you ain't supported King Supreme TV? Knowing that I just lost my whole page a month ago. Shout out to the people who has been supporting King Supreme, because you already know I lost my channel. YouTube deleted it because you had a lot of people flagging my channel to the point to where it was shadow banned and demonetized. So if you're rocking with King Supreme, show some love and support. Shout out to all the new people who's been pulling up to support King Supreme in a major way.
We will continue to think.
This is something I know that's really important to you and on your heart. And I personally want to know what inspired you to speak out for the Christians that are being slaughtered in Nigeria.
Now, let's get back to the topic. And black women, I love you. There's nothing more beautiful than a black woman who's feminine, with a nice body, who's a cutie. There's nothing better than a black woman who has it together. Now, black women, you got to get it together. Being a black female isn't enough. This goes for all races of women. I said it before and let me say it again. If you have beauty, femininity, and booty, you're going to kill the game. A man going to give you the world. But if you're being hard-headed, being masculine, seeking male attention from a guy that's not your man, you don't deserve to get wiped up. You deserve to be on the sideline. You deserve to be a damn side chick. I don't care what race this woman is. If she has beauty, femininity, and booty, she's going to kill the game. A man is going to give that woman the world. Too many black women feel like having booty is enough, and it's not enough. It's enough to get sexual attention, but it's not enough to get wifed up. And I'm here to educate black women. I'm here to educate myself. Oh, this is red pill content. No, it's the damn truth. What I'm saying is the damn truth. It ain't got nothing to do with no gender war content. I'm trying to give black women game. Having booty is not enough. Who cares if you got booty, but you're not feminine? You got a whole lot of booty, but you're not feminine. You're pretty damn masculine. Soak up the game. Take heed to what King Supreme is telling you. Too many black women feel like having booty is enough. And I'm here to tell you it is not. As soon as that man gets a woman who has beauty, and femininity, he's gonna leave you. I'm trying to educate you. I'm trying to lace your boots. I'm trying to lace you up with this game. Too many black women feel like having beauty and booty is enough. Let me tell you, ladies, something. And I got to dive into this conversation. I said it before and I'm going to say it again. You got women saying, I'm at 50-50. If you got a job and you make money, why would a man pay 100%? You got a job. What are you supposed to do? Spend all his money and let you save yours? And the moment you get in your feelings, you're going to leave him because you got all your money saved and you're going to be on to the next dude, on to the next one. Nah, man, don't let these women play you. If a woman has her own job and she's independent, you will be a fool to pay 100%. Women fought to get jobs. They fought to be in the work field. They fought to be in the workplace. So if you go to work and you make money, you damn right you're going to pay some bills. You're damn right you're going to sit up there and break off some of that bread. What the hell I look like spending all my money and I'm going to let you save yours? And the moment you get pissed off about something, you got all your money saved up and you're going to leave me. And the whole time you've been using me for my damn money while saving yours. Huh? How black men don't want to provide. Let me tell you, ladies, something. We love y'all, but I got to be honest with you. You can't hold black men to the standards of black men in the 50s. You don't live to this. You don't live up to the same standards as black women in the 50s. Traditional men want traditional women. If you an independent woman on social media, you in everybody's comment section looking for attention, you don't deserve protection and provision like a woman who's feminine and submissive. You don't deserve it. The crazy part about it is you have non-traditional women who feel like they deserve traditional men. And another thing I want to say is this, and I'm not trying to crap on the single mothers out there, but let me tell you, ladies, something. If you got children from another man, why would a man pay 100% and you coming to the table with children for another man or a child from another man? That doesn't make sense. You shouldn't even expect a man who's not the father of your children to pay 100% to pay 100% for you, and you coming to the table with another man's child. At that point, he's taking care of another man's family. It'd be one thing if you was childish, you was feminine and submissive, and you was willing to get on that man's program. He wouldn't mind providing for you. Why? Because you're feminine, you're submissive, you're playing your role as a woman. You're bringing beauty and femininity. But when you're dealing with these women who have the mindset of a feminist and they're coming to the table with a child or children from another man, why would a man pay 100% for that? And I'm trying to educate you ladies. And I know y'all gonna get mad because you don't like hearing the truth. A lot of men lie to you because they want to sleep with you. They're not going to tell you the truth. King Supreme gonna tell you the truth. A lot of men have been laced with this game. They don't want to pay 100% for another man's family. A lot of these females, they're single mothers and they're feminists. So you got a chick who's a single mom and a feminist, and she's looking for a successful man to pay 100% for that. You're never gonna get it. Never gonna get it. Never gonna never gonna get it. Never gonna get it. You're never gonna get it. You got females who are feminists and single mothers, and they believe they deserve a man that's gonna pay 100%. That's not reality. You're living in a fantasy. Come back down to planet Earth. I'll give you some game. Oh, well, this is gender. Well, no, it's not gender war content. I'm trying to educate women on how to do better in the dating market, in the dating game. You're coming to the table with another man's child or children, and you're coming to the table with unrealistic expectations, and you have a feminist mindset. It's not going to work in 2026. I'm trying to help you, ladies. I'm trying to educate you by lacing you up with this game. That nonsense is not going to work in 2026. Now, I know you beta males and simp. Oh, that's gender, man. Shut your simp ass up, dude. These women will never get married listening to you. Ladies, marry before you carry. And I'm not saying that marriage is 100% because, yes, you can get married and get divorced. But guess what? That's like getting in the car and saying, well, I'm not going to put on the seatbelt because people have lost their life. Listen, you're better off wearing a seatbelt compared to not wearing a seatbelt. So to all you women saying being married don't matter, you have more protection being married opposed to a woman who's a single mother trying to do everything on her own, struggling with no man, trying to raise children. Marry before you carry. And if you want to listen to these feminists, go ahead and listen to them. It's the same. I gave you the seatbelt analogy. I'm going to give you the house analogy. Somebody can break in your house even if you have the doors locked, but you're better off locking the doors and having a security system opposed to you just leaving the damn door wide open. Somebody could easily break in your house, even if you're better off locking the doors. Well, somebody can break in my house anyway, so I'm not going to lock the doors and I'm going to leave the windows open. That's what you women are saying. I'm going to have babies I'm not going to require marriage, but I'm going to have babies. And my excuse for that will be, well, women get married can still get divorced. Yes, they can. That's true. But you're better off having the protection of marriage opposed to a woman who's a single mother raising children on her own. Somebody can break in your house when you lock the doors, but you're still better off locking your doors and having a security system opposed to you leaving the damn doors wide open. Please use common sense. But I know what people gonna say, man, that's gender war. It ain't gender war content. I'm telling you the damn truth. It ain't my fault that you allergic to the damn facts.
Well, and that brings me back to our great president and this administration and our great country. That we take for granted that there right now in this world are people who cannot worship God.
What I'm saying is this, ladies. You can't demand that a man pays 100% and you come into the table with children from another man. You're coming with a ready-made family. You want a man to pay 100% for that? Good luck. It's not going to work in 2026. I'm trying to help you, ladies, by telling you the damn truth. If you got a job and you make money, you got to bring some of that bread to the table. Now, what women, okay, if you feel like, okay, well, if a man ain't going to pay 100%, I ain't going to submit. Okay, well, then go on about your business. Be a serial dater. See if that works for you. Nowadays, women make money just like men. They go to work and they have jobs. What you gonna do? Let that woman save her money and live off yours? She is playing you if she ain't bringing nothing to the table. Bringing box alone is not enough anymore. That's not enough. And you wonder why you don't have a lot of marriages in the black community, because a lot of people in the black community don't understand this simple concept. A relationship is teamwork. You play your position as a woman, I play my position as a man. That's how we're going to make this thing work out. Too many women in the black community feel like a man should pay 100%. Too many females want traditional men, but they are not traditional women. If you are not a traditional woman, you don't deserve a traditional man. Traditional women don't bring children to the table from other men, then meet a new man later and demand that he pays 100%. That is not going to work. Not in 2026. It's not going to work, ladies. Hopefully you take heed to the information. I am not bashing you. I'm being honest with you by telling you the damn truth. If you are not a traditional woman, you don't deserve a traditional man. It's simple as that. Simplicity. Got these women out here who got children from other men, but they expect a dude who's not the father of their children to pay 100%.
As they please, where they please. We take it for granted because we have it. We can't even imagine not having that right. But every time we pray and fellowship, we have to remember the people that are right now in this world hiding to pray and fellowship. And we have to pray for them. And first of all, Nigeria is a place I've always loved. Someone very dear to me, my pastor, is Nigerian. I have lots of Nigerian.
Let me tell you, ladies, something. Traditional women came to the table childless, ready to get on a man's program. You can't come to the table with kids from another man thinking that a man who's not the father of your kids is gonna pay 100%. That's not reality, baby. That's not gonna work. Men are smart. They don't want to be used. Men want to be appreciated. They don't want to be used. I've seen women who go to work every day who think a man gonna pay 100%. So she want to hold you to the standard of a traditional man, but she's far from being a traditional woman. She's a modern day woman with a feminist mindset, and she's a single mother. But she wants somebody to pay 100% for that. That's not reality, baby. You got to compromise. I ain't even gonna say compromise because you got to come down to reality. You got independent women who got jobs. They're single mothers and they got a feminine mindset, but they're looking for some simp to pay 100%. Why would a man pay 100% for that? Ladies, if you make money, you got to bring some of that bread to the table. And listen, I'm going to say this to you ladies. If you the type of woman who feel like, well, if I got to pay bills, I ain't going to be feminine. Okay, well, get lost. There's no reason for that man to deal with you. He could easily find a childless woman who's willing to play that role and position. You an independent woman who makes her own money. You a single mother, and you have a feminist mindset. What man in his right mind going to pay 100% for that? Only an idiot will. Now let's get back to the content. I know a lot of ladies don't want to hear this, but I don't care about your feelings. I'm telling you the damn truth. I am telling you what men want. It ain't King Supreme who's just saying this. The majority of men feel like this. The thing is, the majority of men might not say this, but this is how the majority of men feel out here. And if you can't give a man what he's looking for, he ain't got no damn business paying 100% for you.
Barbs. And so hearing that people are being kidnapped, and while they're in church, people are being kidnapped, people are being killed, brutalized, all because of their religion. And that should spark outrage in the great America. And that's what it did. And again, we're not backing down anymore. We are not going to be silenced by the bullies anymore, okay?
And I hate to keep pausing it, but this is a learning lesson. Now, women, well, men got children too. Let me tell you something about men with children. Men with children don't need women to provide for their children. They don't. Then you're going to have some independent women. I don't need a man to take care of my kids. Okay, check this out though, baby. A woman with an independent mindset is a feminist. She don't deserve a husband. She's a serial dater who deals with different men. That's what those women are. An independent woman who makes her own money that has children, she don't deserve a traditional husband. Why? Because she's not a traditional woman. The only women who deserve traditional husbands are females who are traditional women. Excuse me. Men with children are not demanding that women pay 100% for them and their children. On the flip side, you got single mothers who are feminists who are demanding that a man pays 100% for them. Last time I checked, men with children are not demanding that some woman pay 100% for him and his children. That's the major difference between a single father versus a single mother. I don't care what that woman say. I don't need a man to take care of my kids. If you marry that woman, at some point, you're going to be providing for her children. Because for one, you're not going to move in her house because she has to play by the rules. And let me give you single mothers some game. You going off topic, man. I spoke on this Nicki Minaj topic for 2 hours. Now I got to give some game to the black men and the black women in the community. Ladies, let me tell you something. A lot of you ladies, you want husbands and you're single mothers, but you don't want your husband to discipline your children. What do I look like paying 100%, paying for everything, and you got a problem with the way that I discipline your child, but you want your child to benefit from the things that I provide as a man? Nah, that's not going to work. Men are too smart. Why? Because they've been soaking up game from player partners like King Supreme. A lot of you single mothers want protection and provision. You a single mother, you coming to the table with another man's child or another man's children, but you don't want the man who's providing to be in a position to discipline your child or children. That's not going to work. What do I look like moving a woman in my house? She's coming to the table with a kid, but she got a problem with the way that I discipline children. That's another contributing factor to why marriages are not working. A lot of these single mothers, they don't want men telling their children nothing, but they want their children to benefit from the things you provide. But they don't want you to discipline their children. Now, it'd be one thing if you was just mean-spirited to the children, I get that. But we all know that children who are raised by single mothers, they're at a major disadvantage. They're at a major disadvantage. So ladies, if you got a problem with the man disciplining your children, stay single or go back to your baby daddy. If you got a problem with a man disciplining your children, stay single or go back to your baby daddy. What man in his right mind is going to provide for you and your child, but you don't want him to discipline your child, even when your child needs discipline? See, a lot of brothers in the FBA community, they're too afraid to say that because they don't want to lose black female support. But in reality, they shouldn't lose black female support. Why? Because we're being honest with them and telling them the truth. We're telling them, we're talking about the things that affects men. And if they don't care about the things that affects men, tell them to get lost. They was never rocking with you in the first place. They was only supporting you because you didn't hold them accountable. You know how many black women stopped supporting my platform when I held them accountable for their BS? A lot of them. You don't see them no more because they don't want to hear the truth. They want to be pandered to. And I'm going to say this to you, black women. If you got a problem with me being honest with you, just leave the platform right now. If I can tell white people the truth and you ain't got a problem with that, if I can tell black men the truth and you ain't got a problem with that, don't get in your feelings when I start telling you the truth about yourself. You got tons of single mothers out here who want a man to provide for their children, but they don't want that man to discipline their children. What man in his right mind is going to sit up there and provide for a woman who thinks like that? So your children are supposed to benefit from what I provide, but you don't want me to discipline them when they're out of line. It's not going to work. Nicki Minaj is a prime example of what I'm talking about. She's a feminist. She's an independent woman with a feminist mindset. She's not a traditional woman. But you know what she's going to say? Well, I don't need no man. You still need penis. You still need male companionship. How about that?
Know that people are being kidnapped, people are being killed, brutalized, all because of their religion. And that should spark outrage in the great
Shout out to Frank Johnson for the 15. Frank Johnson bless us with a 15. Back in Action bless us with a 5. Shout out to my man Lawrence for blessing us with a 20. Listen, I'm being honest with the black community when it comes to relationships and politics. And when it comes to street culture, I'm being honest with the black community all across the board. If you don't like honesty, go to a channel that's going to lie to you and talk about white supremacy, but never hold you accountable for your actions. Go to a channel. There's plenty of FBA channels where they don't tell women the truth, where they just talk about white supremacy and tethers all day. There's plenty of FBA channels out there who never tells black women the truth. If you got a problem with the stuff that I'm saying, go to one of those FBA channels that's going to pander to you and never hold you accountable for anything.
America. And that's what it did. And again, we're not backing down anymore. We are not going to be silenced by the bullies anymore, okay? Know that. Hear that. Receive that, bullies. We won't be silenced ever again. We will speak up for Christians wherever they are in this world. Amen.
Amen. I don't know if you can see this at home, but she's getting a ton of standing ovations.
I love you guys so much. Thank you guys.
So going along that thread, can you tell us about your relationship with God? Because I think a lot of us want to hear.
Sure. Well, my relationship with God.
Now you got a female trying to tell us about black men. Angel said when a man has enough money, he doesn't care what you have and is not worried about your money. And many black women aren't dating black men. They're dating other men with a normal mentality. This is how you know she's foolish. If you look at black women's marriage rates, it's not going up, it's going down. You have the ability to sleep with other men. Let me tell you something. A normal mentality. See, a woman like that, she don't believe in holding women accountable for anything. She's not a traditional woman, but she believes she deserves a traditional man. Why would a traditional man pay 100% for a non-traditional woman, a female who's a feminist with an independent mindset. And on top of that, she's a single mom. And you think men want to pay 100% for that? Now, what do you mean a normal mindset? Do you know white men started this passport movement? White men were the first men in America who got tired of the American westernized woman mentality. The white man was the first man to create this passport brother movement. White men been tired of the Americanized white woman, but at the same time, the white man has allowed his women to become feminist. So the white man is to blame for this as well. What percentage of, listen, this is what I want to tell you, because a lot of people ain't gonna like, oh, this is gender war. No, this is something that needs to be talked about, because too many FBA content creators ignore what's going on in society. The original passport brothers are white men, and white men were fed up with their women being feminists. They were fed up with their women having an independent mindset. White men were the first men to say, we ain't gonna deal with American women. We're gonna get women from other countries. So what do you mean a normal mindset? The white man is the first man that abandoned American women for foreign chicks. Huh? The white man was the first man in America to say that he was tired of the American westernized woman. The white man was the first man to say, I'm going to go overseas to get me a better woman who is not a feminist. The white man was the first one to come with that nonsense on social media. What are you talking about, Willis? You're speaking to one of the realest in the game, King Supreme.
Started, well, when I was a toddler in Trinidad, my grandmother, if things got spicy in the house, like if the kids and grandkids were arguing or fighting, she would make all the little kids go in her room and make us say our, like, and say a prayer. So later on in my life, well, not much later, when I was like 10, 11, 12, I started going to church in New York.
Listen, you don't see men with children demanding women provide for them and their children 100%. But you see black women all over social media who are feminists, independent women, and single mothers who think they're going to get a man to provide 100%, even though she's a feminist coming to the table with another man's child or children. Basically, you want a man who's not the father of your children to pay 100% and provide for another man's family. Unfortunately, a lot of black women are looking for suckers. They're not looking for men. They're not looking for husbands. They are looking for suckers. Now you want a man to pay for your bad decisions. You're looking for somebody, you're looking for a dude that's going to be the cleaner man for your bad decision making. You had babies by men who refused to marry you. Now you think you're going to find a man who's not the father of your children that's going to pay 100%, and you a single mother coming to the table with a feminist mindset and children from other men. But you want a man who's not the father of your children to pay 100% for a ready-made family. Unfortunately, a lot of women in our community have that mentality. It's unfortunate, but it's true. And the thing is, you got a lot of brothers out there who make FBA content. They're too afraid to be honest with black women. Why? Because they're simps. They're simps. Too many brothers in the FBA community. We got a lot of brothers in the FBA community who are too afraid to be honest with black women. They talk about white supremacy, tethers, and immigrants all day, but they refuse to be honest with black women about dating and marriage. Why? Because there's so many simps in the FBA community who just talk about white supremacy, tethers, and immigrants all day. They never take the time to be honest with black women. Too much pandering, too much simping.
And thank you guys so much. Thank you guys.
So going along that thread, can you tell us about your relationship with God? Because I think a lot of us want to hear.
Sure. Well, my relationship with God started, well, when I was a toddler in Trinidad, my grandmother, if things got spicy in the house, like if the kids and grandkids were arguing or fighting, she would make all the little kids go in her room and make us say and say a prayer. So later on in my life, well, not much later, when I was like 10, 11, 12, I started going to church in New York. And it changed everything. It changed my life for the better because I was going every week. I was hearing the word of God be preached. And then I was going home and I was applying it to my life. Even as a little girl, I learned how to pray very early. I always had this faith that made people think, you know, the kind of faith that you think a person is crazy, like, oh, please, like, you know. But I had that faith instinctively once I started hearing about God and, you know, just getting more into the Bible. I got baptized when I was about...
You got a lot of women out here saying, well, I'm not going to submit to a man who don't pay 100%. Well, you're not a traditional woman, so why would he pay 100% in the first place? I ain't going to submit to no man if he ain't going to pay 100%. You're not a feminine woman. You're not a traditional woman. He ain't got no damn business paying 100% for you in the first damn place. Get lost. Go back to your baby daddy or just be a serial dater. It's that simple. Non-traditional women think they deserve traditional men.
Yep. Amen. I got baptized when I was about 13. I got baptized. And I have just always applied those teachings to my life. I try to. And that's the thing. We're not perfect. We try. Sometimes I would wake up and feel so far removed from, not God, but from fellowship. You know, I was like, oh my God, I used to go to church on Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday every week, like literally.
The majority of women in today's society are feminists, single mothers, and independent women. But they still feel like they deserve traditional men. And I'm not even just talking about black women, but if we're speaking for FBA people, we got to be honest with our women. The majority of women in today's society are single mothers, feminists, and independent women. They don't have the qualities of traditional women, but somehow they were lied to. They feel like they still deserve traditional men, even when they bring children to the table from another man. See, it'd be one thing if you met a childless woman who was respectful, who didn't live in a fantasy, who was in tune with the reality. She came to the table with no children, ready to get on your program, and she say, I don't want to be an independent boss chick. You know what I mean? I might have a job, but we're going to put our money together to live a better lifestyle. That woman is a team player. A lot of these women are feminists and they feel like, well, if I got to pay bills, I can't. Let me tell you, ladies, something. You got to pay bills regardless. Listen, paying bills is part of being a damn adult. What makes these women, listen, a lot of these women got children and they're feminists. But you're looking for a simp to pay 100%. Ladies, you're already paying 100%. I don't want to pay 50-50. Okay, pay 100%. If you a single mom who's unmarried and you got a child or children, you're already paying 100% for your rent and bills. Unless you're getting some type of assistance from the government, then the government is your daddy then. But let's be real. These chicks be single mothers. They got to pay their bills. The daddy ain't around. They're struggling by themselves. But then they get with a man and think that he's going to pay 100%. Hold on. If you had to pay your rent and bills when you was by yourself and you got a kid, what makes you think you're going to move in my house with another man's kid and you ain't going to have to pay nothing? It shows you how unrealistic a lot of these women are. I ain't going to go 50. Okay, well then pay 100% for your own damn bills then. You ain't finna move in my house with another man's children and think that, man, please. And think you ain't gonna have to sit up there and pay nothing. You had to pay rent and bills before you met me. What makes you think you're gonna move in my house with another man's children and think I'm gonna pay 100%? You better be bringing something to the table to make this shit worth it, damn it. I'm just saying. And I know a lot of women ain't gonna like hearing this, but we already know women don't like hearing the truth. So of course they're gonna get mad. There's plenty, listen, ladies, there's plenty of FBA channels who are never gonna hold you accountable. That's never gonna tell you the truth. They're gonna talk about immigrants, white supremacy, and tethers all day. But they're not gonna hold women accountable and be honest with you. There's plenty of FBA channels out there like that. I'm not one of them. I'm gonna tell white people the truth. I'm gonna tell immigrants the truth. I'm going to tell black people the truth. I'm going to tell black women the truth. That's the difference between me and a lot of these other FBA channels. The majority of these FBA channels refuse to be honest with black women. And you wonder why the black woman is so lost. Too many black men in the black community refuse to be honest with them. I'll just talk about white supremacy, tethers, and immigrants all day. I'm never going to hold the black woman accountable. Too many FBA channels out there like that. It's a lot of them. If you want to be pandered to, there's plenty of FBA channels who will just talk about things and never hold you accountable for anything. There's plenty of channels like that, ladies. If you want the truth, if you want to learn how to be a better woman, subscribe to King Supreme, because I'm going to be honest with you and tell you the damn truth, regardless of how you feel about the situation. We already told black men they need to step their game up and quit being broke. We told niggas the truth many moons ago. You don't see men with children demanding that women provide for them and their children 100%. But you got single mothers all over the internet and in real life who think a man is going to pay 100% for them and their children that they didn't have by another man. It's way too many women out there like that on the dating scene. Now, at the same time, I met a lot of black women with common sense. I just need a man that's going to help me with these bills. I don't need a man to pay 100% for me. I got a job. He got a job. We can put our money together and we can make something happen. Shout out to those women who are realistic about the situation. They understand that they bring baggage to the table and they're still willing to bring money to the table. Shout out to the sisters like that, because those sisters got common sense. Let's wrap this show up, man. I'm going to let the rest of this show play, and we're going to wrap it up.
3 days out of the week. And then later on in your life, you become busy, and you start thinking, oh, well, you know, God is in my heart, and, you know. But then sometimes you can be in an industry as well that pulls you.
If you a woman that makes money and your man makes money, y'all supposed to bring y'all money to the table to make something happen. You don't get to live off of my money while saving yours. At that point, you are using that man. You don't give a damn about him. You're just looking for a simp to use. You're looking for a simp to take advantage of. Women in today's society make money. So if they make money, they need to bring that bread to the table. And if you're the type of woman who feel like, well, if I got to pay bills, I'm not going to be feminine, get lost. Go back to your baby daddy or just be a serial dater. If you're the type of woman who feel like she can't submit to no man because she got to pay bills, get lost, stay single. Go back to your baby daddy. Hopefully he takes you back. If not, you're going to be asked out. You're going to struggle by yourself for the rest of your life, and you're going to be a serial dater just going from man to man.
You away even more. So lately, I've been feeling like you know, like if you haven't seen a long lost best friend for, you know, for a long time and then you bump into them again, that's how it's been feeling for me. Like just going back to God and praying and talking to him. And, you know, and he said to me, where were you? Where have you been? I've been waiting on you. And since that moment that God had that conversation with me, I've been in such a better space.
See, these women are single mothers, and they'll pay bills when they single, but they feel like when they get with a man, they ain't got to pay bills no more. They ain't got to be responsible adults because they're with a man now. It don't work like that, baby. If you had to pay bills before you got with me, you gonna pay some damn bills when you get with me. Now, if you my woman and you bringing value to my life, I'll relieve some pressure off of you. I'll pay a lot of stuff to relieve some pressure, but you got to bring beauty and femininity to the table. And if you can't bring beauty, femininity, and submission, I'm not giving you a damn thing. I'll be damned if I provide for a woman who lacks femininity and feminine energy. Please, hell no. I'll release, listen, I don't mind relieving some stress off of your back, but you got to play your role in position. You already, listen, these women are paying bills. These women are single mothers and they got to pay bills on their own. They got to buy food. They got to pay rent. They got to pay bills. They think when they get with a man, they shouldn't have to pay nothing. Paying bills is what you call a responsible adult. That is part of that. That is part of being, that's what you call being a damn adult. Grown people pay bills. The only people who ain't got to pay bills are children. Now, if you get with me and I'm rocking with you, you my woman, I'm going to relieve a whole lot of stress and pressure off of your back if you're playing your role in position. I said it before and I say it again. The only people who don't have responsibility and bills are children. If you're a grown up, if you're a grown ass adult, you're going to pay for something. You ain't going to sit up here and just get a free damn ride.
Because now it's just, I'm thinking about, is God pleased with this? Not if the bullies and uglies are pleased. But if God is pleased, and when you have that personal relationship with God, guess what? Even in school, he's.
Let me tell you, lady, something. She says she don't want to run. If you a single mother and you got with a man and you're struggling as a result of being a single mother, you already ran off a damn cliff. You already ruined your life by being a single mother because you got to deal with the responsibilities and all the stress that comes with being a single mother. So if you a single mother and you're the sole provider for that child, you done already ran off a damn cliff. You done already made your life harder just by the choices that you made in men. You didn't already ran off a cliff by your damn self, by your own damn decision making. I don't want to run off no cliff. You didn't already did it. That's why you a single mom in the first place. You had a baby by a man who's not helping you. As a result of that, you are struggling as a single mother. Now you're talking about, I don't want to settle. You didn't already settled. And I'm not saying this to be harsh on the ladies. I am giving you a reality check. If you are a single mother, you done already made your life difficult by having a child with the wrong damn man. You done already ruined your life. Now you want a man who's not the father of your children to fix your life. And you think you ain't got to come with submission and feminine energy and femininity? You done already ruined your life before I met you. That's why you a struggling single mom in the first place. Why? Because you done made bad decisions in men. You expect me to fix your life and your situation, but you think you're going to come to the table running your mouth, being combative and argumentative. No, we ain't going to stand for it. The majority of these women have already ruined their lives. That's why they're struggling with children and no help from the child's father. They didn't already ruin their lives. Now you want a man who's not the father of your children to make your life and your situation better, but you think you ain't got to come with femininity, feminine energy, and being submissive. To all you ladies, if you got a problem with that, continue to be a serial dater or go back to your baby daddy if he's willing to take you back
there. Wherever you are and whenever you need it, you have something that you can tap into immediately. It's immediate. You don't have to leave a message. He's not gonna call you back. He's there immediately. As soon as you call on him, on the first ring, he's going to answer. And I want you guys to remember that. You're young, and first of all, I wanna say, I'm proud of you guys. This is a major, to be so young, for you guys that are in college, to be so young and to care this much, this early in your life, it tells us how smart you are, and it tells us that there's hope for our future. So God bless you. Congratulations, you guys. You're amazing. Congratulations.
Let me say this to you, Black women. I love y'all, but I got to be honest with you. I can't pander to you like these other FBA channels that are not honest with you. All these other FBA channels talk about white supremacy, immigrants, and tethers. They never take the time to be honest with Black women when it comes to dating and marriage. They won't be honest with them. Why? Because they're too afraid that they'll lose female supporters just by being honest with them. I'm saying what I'm saying to Black women out of love because I want Black women to know the damn truth so that Black women understand what men want. If you don't understand what a man wants, then you're going to be lost in the sauce. You're going to be a grown up and a little girl's, you're going to have a little girl's mindset and a grown woman's body. And you're still clueless when it comes to men because you didn't take the time to understand what men actually want. And like I said, there's plenty of FBA channels who are not honest with Black women when it comes to dating and marriage. There's tons of FBA channels out there like that. I'm not one of them.
Congratulations, you guys are amazing, okay? Know it, feel it. Yes, yes. Proudly, be it proudly. Be who you are proudly.
Amen.
Yes.
So what have you, I mean, you're an amazing mother. What have you seen that has been a struggle for young women today? And then also, since both of us have little boys, I would love for you to also talk about the male side of that question as well.
Okay, well, something that I've noticed recently is that for little girls, I think that no matter how you look, we should be trying to instill into them to be proud of how they look.
Shout out to First Class Citizen First Class Citizen bless us with a 20. Shout out to First Class Citizen for the 20. Shout out to Donald Willis for blessing us with a 20 as well. See, the men, listen, I can tell by the amount of support that we're getting, the men have been waiting for somebody in the FBA community to say this. You've been waiting for somebody in the FBA community to say this. All them other simps, they're too afraid to be honest with Black women, so they'll never say what I'm saying right now. They're too afraid to say what I'm saying. So they'll bite their tongue and talk about tethers, immigrants, and white supremacists all day, but they'll never take the time to be honest with Black women when it comes to dating and marriage. They won't be honest with them. You guys have been waiting for somebody in the FBA community, mainly a Black man, to say exactly what I've been saying. Because a lot of Black men have been thinking it, but they're too damn afraid to say it.
Recently, in the media, it's almost been like a push to, it's not just making young Black children feel proud of themselves, but it's almost like doing that and at the same time telling other children not to be proud of themselves. And I don't want any child feeling.
Black men, we got to get it together too. We got to stop creating children. And I know a lot of us do take care of our children, but I'm speaking to the Black men who don't. If we're not willing to take care of these children, we ain't got no damn business creating them or having them. So Black men got to step up and be responsible when it comes to where you lay your seed, when it comes to the woman that you dump your seed in. You might not like the woman, but you still got to provide for the children. So, Everything that I'm saying it out of love. I love black women. I wouldn't want to be with no other woman besides a black woman. But at the same time, I got to be honest with black women in the areas to where she can get better, to where she can be a better woman. The only way black women are going to be better, black men got to start out, we got to be honest with them. It might hurt their feelings, but it's going to make them better women in the long run. They might give pushback. They might say, oh, I ain't finna listen to that. I ain't listen to this. Guess what? My information is going to make black women better women in the long run. The truth hurts. I understand that the truth hurts, but it's only to make you better. That's all it is. I don't want no 50-50 relationship. You paying 100%. If you a single mother struggling with a child and you get with a man and you don't want to pay half of them bills, what the hell he looks like dealing with you? You're paying 100% as a single woman, but you think you're going to get with a man and he going to pay 100% and you ain't going to have to pay nothing? So you're going to sit on social media and gossip all day and hop in the comment section of different content creators while your man is working hard and paying all the bills, even though you coming to the table with a child or children from another man and you ain't going to pay nothing and he going to sit up there and pay 100%. If you're not a traditional woman, you don't deserve a traditional man. Simplicity. What we're dealing with in today's society is women who are feminists, independent mindset, and a lot of these women are coming to the table with children. You're not in, listen, ladies, you're in no position to demand the same things that a traditional woman could demand. You're in no position to demand that. A woman who's childless, feminine, as Kevin Samuels would say, feminine, fit, and friendly, and childless, and she respects men, that woman deserves a traditional man because she's bringing traditional qualities to the table. The problem is the overwhelming majority of you ladies, you're not traditional women, but you feel like you deserve a traditional man. At the end of the day, that's a raw deal for the man. That is a bad deal for a man at the end of the day. So I'm here to give game to the brothers so that they don't end up in a bad situation being a traditional man for a non-traditional woman. That is a bad deal for a man in 2026.
That way. If as black women, we felt that we were not being represented. And
hey, listen, you guys want to battle in the chat. I ain't gonna say nothing. I ain't gonna listen. I'm just here to kick my game, and I'm here to tell the truth. Anybody who agrees with it, cool. If you disagree with it, cool. It is what it is. If you are not a traditional woman, you don't deserve a traditional man. Traditional women don't come to the table with children from other men, then turn around and demand 100% from a man that's not the father of your children. It's not going to work. If that mindset hasn't worked for the last 50 years, what makes you think it's going to work in 2026? Ladies, if you're coming to the table with children from another man, you need a job. You need to provide for those children. Why would a man allow you to place that burden on him? And those children you're bringing to the table ain't his, but you think he's going to pay 100% pay 100% for you and children that you didn't have by another man. That is unfair for the man. It is unfair. That is a raw deal. That is a bad deal for a man in 2026, paying 100% for a woman that's bringing children from another man. And on top of that, she don't even want you to discipline those children. She don't believe in your methods of disciplining. She don't believe in your methods of discipline, but she wants her children. She wants her children to benefit from the things that you provide. She wants the benefits of a traditional man, but she don't want to submit to a traditional man. I don't want you telling me you mean to me. No. I'm telling your kids, listen. We're going to change the subject, man. We're going to change the subject because I know a lot of people don't want to hear this conversation, but this conversation is needed in the black community. I'm not telling ladies to get with bums and men who are not productive. What I'm saying is, why would you expect for a productive man who can provide a lifestyle for a woman to provide 100% and you're bringing children from previous relationships, but he's supposed to pay 100% for that? You're not feminine. You're not submissive. You're not even a traditional woman. You don't want that man to discipline your children. You know how many single mothers that I met that are very defensive when it comes to their children? They don't want a man telling their children nothing, but they want their children to benefit from the things you provide. At that point, that woman is using you, and you're dumb if you allow her to do it. Shout out to the beautiful ladies that understand what I'm saying. Shout out to the ladies out there that's falling in line with this ism, this knowledge and wisdom. Shout out to y'all beautiful black women. But to all you black women who feel like you can go against what I'm saying, I don't feel sorry for you. You're going to find out the hard way. King Supreme is telling you the damn truth.
Not being admired for our beauty. If we felt like that as black women,
anytime you start telling the truth about dating and relationships in the black community, a lot of people don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear it, even though it's beneficial for the community, because I'm telling women what men actually want. And if they got a problem hearing that, then hey, they can get lost. Because I'm just telling you the truth. If the FBA community got a problem when it comes to the things that affects black men, middle finger to them in the first place. Why you got a problem with the things that affects men, but you talking about you got love for the FBA community, but you don't give a damn about the things that affects men, and you don't care about what affects black men. If I was talking about what affects black women, none of these people would have left the chat. I don't care, because guess what? The chat, the amount of people in the chat might be lower, but the amount of support that we got is higher. The amount of support that we got from brothers is higher, even though some of the people that was in the chat left the chat. I don't care, because I'm telling the truth. And if you got a problem with the truth, then you're an enemy to the black man. You're an enemy to the progress of black men. If you got a problem with the things that I'm saying, you're an enemy to black men. I never said that black men should use black women and dog them out. I never said that. What I said was, you can't expect for a man to pay 100% and you're coming to the table with children from another man. You don't want to submit. You just want to reap the benefits from what that man provides. You want your children to benefit from what that man provides, but you don't want that man to discipline your damn children. You know how many single mothers I met with that mindset? Tons of them. And it ain't just women in the black community. I'm speaking in general, but if we're speaking for the black community, oh my God, you already know that's a major problem. I'm gonna get up out of here, man. Shout out to yes, sir, everybody in the chat. Hit the like button if you haven't already. You know, a lot of brothers love to hear this. The thing is, we need to get more brothers that support content like this, because I'm giving you the facts. I'm not telling you no lies. I'm being honest with you and telling you the truth. Shout out to Tyrone Page for blessing us with a 10 on the Cash App. Tyrone Page blessed us with a 10 on the Cash App. You did? Shout out to Tyrone. Shout out to my man Gregory for blessing us with a 15 on the Cash App. See, a lot of brothers needed to hear this message, because they want to know that FBA men are still speaking for them. When y'all listen to a lot of these FBA content creators, they're too afraid to be honest with black women. That's why they never hold a black woman accountable for anything. When I'm saying to black women, I'm saying this out of love to the black woman. I would love to see black women get married. I would love to see more black love in today's society. That's exactly what I want. But it starts with honesty. And if we can't be honest with our women, then we cannot lead our women. I said it before, I'll say it again. If we cannot be honest with our women, then we cannot lead our women. How you going to lead somebody and you can't even be honest with them without them getting in their feelings? It's impossible at that point. let me tell you this, Angel. A lot of women get pregnant by men who don't want them, right? So it's your fault. You had to open your legs for the man that impregnated you. So if you got pregnant by a man who didn't want to marry you, then you're part of the blame. It's your responsibility. You don't get to place that burden on men who are not the father of your children. You don't get to do that. Ladies, if you spreaded your legs and got pregnant by a man, if you opened your legs and got pregnant by a man who don't want you, that is your fault. You made a bad decision. Now you must deal with the consequences of your bad decisions. If I commit a crime and go to jail, I must suffer the consequences of my actions. So if you open your legs and get pregnant for a man, you get pregnant by a man who don't want you, ladies, you must deal with the consequences of your actions. You think a man who's not the father of your children is going to come by and rescue you. It might happen sometimes, but it's not going to happen for the majority of women in today's society. It's just not going to happen for the majority of you. It's not. I got you, Blade Monger. Blade Monger, don't trip, bro. I got you, bro. Shout out to Blade Monger. I know you support her, man. So I got you, Blade Monger. I'm gonna mod you up. Go Gadget, Blade Monger. Y'all been rocking with me the long way, so I got you. So don't even worry about it, Blade Monger. There's a lot of people, and yeah, I got you, Blade Monger. You've been rocking with the program. You've been rocking with the platform for years. You've been rocking with me for years. So yeah, you part of the team, my guy. Don't sweat it. I got you, brother.
Why would we want to do that to other women? Why would we?
See, what women got to understand is if you have a baby by a man who don't want you, then you're to blame. Yes, does the man have some responsibility? Of course, the man has some responsibility in the situation. Of course. But at the same time, everybody must deal with the consequences of their actions. I don't care if we're talking about men or women. We all must deal with the consequences of our actions. Men, women, black, white, Chinese, or Guapanese. There's always consequences for your actions. As a man, if you impregnate the wrong women and they put you on child support, you know what I'm going to say? Well, you should have dealt with better women. Yeah, it might be wrong. You might feel like it's scandalous, but you put yourself in that position by impregnating the wrong women. So at that point, the man must deal with the consequences of his actions by impregnating the wrong women. If you a woman, you get pregnant by a man who don't want to help you to take care of that child, now you're dealing with the consequences of your actions. You make bad decisions in men. If a man got to deal with the consequences, if a man has to deal with the consequences of his actions, then women have to do the same thing. We're grown-ups. We're adults. We're grown. For every action, there's a reaction, and there's always going to be consequences for your actions. I don't care if you're a man or a woman, black, white, Chinese, or Guapanese. You talking about FBA? I love y'all, man, but I've been speaking this I've been doing this FBA content for a minute, way before it got popular on YouTube. I've been talking about illegal immigration, how it affects the black community, how our decisions affects our day-to-day lives. I've been talking about that for years. There's tons of FBA channels who refuse to hold women accountable for anything. And listen, ladies, if this conversation makes you uncomfortable, go to channels who won't be honest with you. Go to those channels who talk about white supremacy, tethers, and immigrants, but they're not honest with black women when it comes to dating and marriage. There's plenty of channels out there in the FBA community. Go over there if you feel uncomfortable with my conversation. That's all I'm saying. Because if you're a real black woman, you know I got love for you. I love black women. I love black women more. Let me say this. I love black women more than any other race of women. That's a fact. But if I love you, then that requires that I be honest with you. If I love black women, that requires that I have to be honest with you. Even if you don't like what I'm saying to you at that particular time, I still got to be honest with you. Progress, the first step to progress is honesty. And if black men can't be honest with their women, then you can't lead them. If you cannot reach them, you cannot teach them. If you can't be honest with them, then you cannot lead them. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Peace, love, and blessings to the gang, baby. You grew up in a married Christian home. Let me see what she said. Yeah, I think women should stop dating baby daddies clean across the board. Everyone's getting judged accordingly. LOL. Let me tell you something, ladies. Well, find a man with no children that's willing to wife you up then. The majority of you ladies cannot find a man who's childless that's looking to wife you up. The majority of women, the majority of women can't find no man like that. Because guess what? A man with money, a man that's in a position to provide for a family is going to have high standards. And a lot of you women can't meet the standards of a man of that caliber. The majority of you women cannot meet the standards of a man of that caliber. If a man is childless, he got money, and he's in a position to provide for a family, unfortunately, a lot of you women can't live up to the standards of a man of that caliber. Unfortunately, the overwhelming majority of women can't live up to a man who got standards like that. You can't live up to that man's standards. You can't. A lot of these women are overweight. They're bringing children to the table. They have a feminist mindset. In other words, they're not traditional women. They might have sex with you, they might date you, but they're not looking to marry you. Am I saying this to put black women down? No, I am giving you a reality check that is well overdue. I am giving you a reality check that is well overdue. A man who has money in the bank, he's well traveled, he has a career, he's a high earner. A man of that caliber is going to have high standards. And the majority of you women cannot meet the standards of a man that you can't meet the standards of a man of that caliber. You can raise your standards. Let me tell you something, ladies. You can raise your standards. So you're saying women need to raise, you're going to be single forever. Because men are the ones who create the standards, not women. God put men in position as leaders. You must live up to the standards of men. What a man, listen. If you a man that's living up to the standards of a woman, then you a beta male that's being led by a female. If you let a female tell you what a real man is and what a real man does and what a real man say, at that point, that woman is dictating to you. She's running the show. Men are the ones who set standards, not women. Men are the ones who set standards, not women. God created men as leaders, not women. Anytime you meet a woman that's trying to tell you what a real man is and what a real man does and what a real man would say, that woman is toxic. That woman is a feminist. She ain't got no damn business trying to tell you what a real man is. It's her job to fall in line with a man of a certain caliber. The hell you look like living up to the unrealistic expectations of a woman, and God never created her to be no damn leader in the first place. Huh? Hit the like button if you haven't already. The game is coming through heavy, baby. The moment you start to live up to the standards that a woman set, you're not a man at all. You're being led by a woman. And once you listen, any man that's led by a woman becomes a woman. Men are the ones who set the standards, not women. So listen, homie, anytime you see a woman running her mouth about what a real man does and what a real man should say, she's a feminist. That woman is a feminist. A woman is supposed to fall in line with a masculine man who has certain standards. It's her job to fall in line with a man who has leadership qualities. It ain't your job to let a woman tell you what a real man should say or what a real man should be doing. You a fool if you deal with a woman who's running her damn mouth like that. It's that woman's job to fall in line with a man who has leadership qualities. Let me tell you something. What's your name? You've been rocking with me for a minute. You was on the other channel. I ain't mad at you, ladies. I ain't mad at the ladies at all. Let me say. She said, when you marry these baby daddies, ladies, his child support flies out of the window every week. If you don't have children, don't date them. If you a lady who don't have children and you don't want to date a man with children, then that's your prerogative. That's your business. I'm not even mad at ladies for that. If you a woman who don't have children and you don't want to date a man who, hey, do what you do. But let me tell you something, ladies. It don't matter if a man has children. If a man has leadership qualities, he's making money and he has leadership qualities, she's gonna rock with that man because he's providing something that the majority of men don't provide. And what is that? Standing on manhood and masculinity. Yes, you got a lot of men out there with money, but just because you have money don't mean that you're a masculine man. Doesn't mean that you stand on manly principles. You know how many rainbow community members who happen to be males who got money? Tons of them. See, it's rare that ladies ever meet a man who's really a man. And money ain't got nothing to do with manhood. There's plenty of rainbow community members. There's plenty of feminine men out there with money. Yes, they might have money, but they lack leadership qualities. There's a lot of gang goofy Gilligans out there with money who lack leadership qualities as a man. You dig what I'm saying? Tyler Perry got money, but he lacks manhood and masculinity. He's just a guy who has money. So ladies, don't be fooled. Man makes the money, but money never makes the man. Now, it's very important that we have money and resources because we need that to survive in today's world in 2026. Of course, we need it, but you can't make that the center of your universe because there's plenty of men out there with money who lack leadership and masculine qualities. They lack leadership qualities. They don't. I'm just saying. So you got a lot of women. I'm just gonna find a man with money, and you end up dealing with a rainbow community member, and you thought he was masculine just because he has money. You're sadly mistaken. See, when it comes to men, it's a combination of a few things. Money doesn't dictate if a man is masculine or not. Money doesn't show that he has leadership qualities. There's plenty of men out there with money, but no leadership qualities. There's plenty of men out there with money, but no manhood and no masculinity. A man got to have leadership qualities along with money. It's a combination of a few things. He has standards that he lives by. He believes in manhood and masculinity, and he just happened to have money. A lot of you women deal with men who have money, but they lack leadership qualities, and they don't possess masculinity and manhood. These are just males with money. And unfortunately, a lot of black women fall for guys just like that. I'm giving you the irrefutable facts. Listen, we're going to get up out of here. Peace, love, and blessings. I had to give y'all the game, man, because this game is well overdue, homie. This game is well overdue. One thing that I do know is the majority of these FBA channels, they're not going to be honest with black women when it comes to marriage and dating. They're not going to do it. This is why they talk about tethers, immigrants, and white supremacists all day, but they never take the time to be honest with black women about dating and marriage. They won't do it. Shout out to Golden XO, man. You've been rocking with me for a minute. I ain't mad at you, Golden XO. You've been rocking with me for a minute. You know, I remember you on the channel back in 2023. So shout out to the Golden XO. You've been rocking with a brother for a minute. So I appreciate you. She says she's married. We're both divorced and have children. Well, as long as you found a man that's for you and you guys are working it out and you guys are providing for your children, that is a beautiful thing. Salute to you and your family. 100%. So shout out to the Golden XO, man. You know, I'm rocking with you. Listen, I believe in black families. I believe in unity. I believe in honesty. I believe in telling the truth to black women. You guys can sit up there and watch FBA channels all day. The majority of those men who make FBA content, they're not going to take the time to be honest with black women about dating and marriage. They're not going to do it. They're not going to do it. I know, shout out to Big E. Of course they're going to hate me for this because they don't want to hear the truth. So of course they're going to get mad at it. That comes with the territory. The truth hurts. Listen, man, the truth hurts. That's why most people don't want to deal with it, because it hurts. The truth hurts, man. Yeah, man. So yeah, I get it. I understand 100%. There's plenty of FBA channels who are not honest with black women. They're too afraid to be honest with black women. I want you guys to do me a favor. Listen to all these black men who make FBA content, and you tell me the percentage of them who are honest with black women when it comes to marriage and relationships. You tell me what percentage of FBA men who make FBA content, what percentage of those brothers are being honest with black women when it comes to dating, marriage, and relationships? What percentage of those FBA content creators who happen to be black men, what percentage of them are being honest with black women? And you get back at me in a couple of days and you let me know what percentage of them will actually do that. Shout out to Cat 6 Cable Guide. Once again, but that shows you how the black community, see, listen, we can say that white people don't want to hear the truth, Latinos don't want to hear the truth. The reality of it is FBA people don't want to hear the truth either, because anytime I start telling black women the truth, you're going to see the numbers drop. I'm telling the truth, but it proves what I'm saying. Most people don't want to hear the truth, so they run from the truth. They stray away from it. They run from it. They scatter, they skedaddle whenever I come through with the hard-hitting facts. Most people don't want to hear the truth. I don't care if they're FBA, white tea people, or Latinos. The majority of people are going to run away from the truth. They don't want to hear it. Now, let me tell you something. FBA people love when I'm telling white people the truth. FBA people love when I'm telling Latino people the truth. But a lot of FBA people get mad at me when I start telling them the damn truth. That's why they run up out of here once I start kicking the hard-hitting facts. I'm going to get up out of here, man. Shout out to the black community. If Red Supreme, listen, man, King Supreme loves you in a major way. I just have my way of delivering my message. Peace to everybody. Bless that like button. I got to get up out of here, y'all. I'm gone. Scoop said this is why marriage rates are in the toilet compared to 50 years ago. Yeah, because people in the black community don't want to hear the truth when it comes to marriage and relationships. They don't want to hear the truth. They want to be pandered to. Foundational black Americans love it when I'm telling Latinos the truth. They love it when I'm telling white people the truth, but they run and get up out of here the moment that I start. They run and get up out of here when I start telling black women the truth. If I was telling black men the truth, do you think 200 people would have left the room if I was telling black men the truth about themselves? No, they wouldn't. So what does that tell you? That means the majority of the listeners are women. Because if the majority of listeners were men, we wouldn't lose numbers once King Supreme started being honest with black women when it comes to marriage, dating, and relationships. So that tells me that that tells me two things. Either the majority of listeners are women, for one, or two, the majority of FBA people are too damn scared to be honest with black women. So when I start kicking the facts, they drop off and they leave. That's exactly what that tells me. Either way, we got a major problem in our community. Peace, love, and blessings. I got to get up out of here, y'all. I'm gone. I love y'all. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.